live show, y'all. We are here a little bit early, as everybody should know by now. Yes, Greg, we will celebrate Pop Tarts. Don't you worry. And we might even have a second here to go ahead and start celebrating. We are still waiting on the start of the Bronco Nagurski Awards ceremony, which should start any minute now. Again, our guy, the GOAT Peyton Wilson, is going to be involved and hopefully winning the daggone thing. And so we're excited to see what happens with it. And then once we kind of get done with it, we'll really start to dive into, all the content, all the things we got to talk about here today. But again, as always, you know the drill. Any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, questions, whatever it may be, get them in the chat. We will get to them. And I'm sorry, I just heard the stream talking in my ear, so it freaked me out for a second there. I was like, who's talking? So anyway, but yeah, so yeah, obviously, elephant in the room here. We got some Pop Tarts, y'all. We're going bowling, baby. Pop Tarts Bowl. We in the house. I do gotta say, Greg, I love yours, but I love Ken's with the pyramid though.
The pyramid of tarts.
Good. Yeah.
Pyramid's pretty good. Pretty much pretty good. So
It took me forever to get him to stay on this little table.
yeah, no, bravo to you. Bravo to you.
It took
What
me
I
a
make
minute
on?
to get these set up too. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no. Well,
But
and I like how
Does
you have.
anybody have the Apple Jacks ones?
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah.
I didn't
That's
see. They don't have those. at
Wait,
Amazon.
Yeah,
did you guys go shopping
good.
for Pop Tarts?
Look at him make it.
I bought 96 Pop Tarts.
Why?
96.
96. If you
Boxes?
go big or go home.
Hold on.
Individual.
Let's see if I can make a.
Oh, I
Not
thought you meant,
96 boxes. That's a little
I
ridiculous.
thought you meant
Yeah, that would be
boxes.
serious dedication.
I was like,
Oh,
Greg.
I need like a. I can't
They
have
were
this
two for
display,
two for
so
$5
I
at
have.
Publix. They were
I
on
have.
sale.
I have some blueberry.
Yep.
I have some strawberry.
Balancing it on the Coke is crazy.
I have
Yeah.
some brown sugar.
Yep, got
Oh,
that over
that's-
there.
And then this is one of my favorites. This is a good
Oh,
one.
I got
Yes,
Wildberry too.
Wildberry.
Yes.
Yep, that's over
Yeah.
here. Got that one.
I don't know. about
Strawberry's
that.
very underrated.
I've got two
Underrated.
on order. I've got two on order that will be shipped this week. That's how
Oh,
crazy.
word?
Yeah.
You
I
should
got
get them
Boston-
autographed if we win. That's what you should do.
I
Greg.
think
I
I will
think-
take them.
They should have them pass them out like they did Duke's Mayo. Give us a free box of Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
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 Ooh.
I
Greg,
learned
that
more-
should be your tailgate. No food, just Pop Tarts.
Just
so
Pop-Tarts.
we weren't gonna tailgate, but
Now
we
we are.
With
tailgating,
Pop Tarts.
and I bought a red toaster, so we will be toasting Pop Tarts
Oh
at
yeah.
the tailgate.
I love it.
Lame.
Oh,
Love it.
me and my mom.
I can
Mom's
bring an extra
excited
one.
to tailgate with you, Greg.
All right, let's go. It's gonna be a little one. Just gonna be a little one. Little some hamburgers and hot dogs. Pretty simple.
Pop Tarts.
And Pop Tarts.
And Pop Tarts.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, Pop Tarts are about to make bank.
They just did.
They already did. Yeah.
I was
Their
gonna
stock
say,
just went up
look at me.
300%.
I
I'm
dropped
like, what is happening in the U.S. right now? It's
$45 on Pop Tarts today.
the people at Food
Crazy.
Lion were looking at me like I was crazy because I went through the self checkout and had like 20 boxes of Pop Tarts.
Well, and for me, just to make it clear too, so my favorite, which we'll get into a little
Nobody
bit
cares.
here,
Let's move on.
brown sugar cinnamon, y'all. But my wife, though,
Oh.
my wife, she didn't really grow up eating Pop Tarts, but she's a big fan of s'mores.
That explains a lot, Layton.
I
Explains a
do
lot.
agree. I agree. But hey,
I got
now
that
she's
one
had
here,
a
too.
a toasted s'more Pop Tart. She a fan.
I'm telling you,
man.
them s'mores Pop Tarts.
Mm.
So
10 out of
up
I
until
don't know.
today,
I don't understand.
I want to know, like, when was the last time you actually bought a Pop Tart?
Oh, it's been a while.
Like last week.
Today.
My dad,
I said
my
before
dad,
today.
my dad used to be obsessed with Pop Tarts. Like I mean, obsessed. So mom had a little emotional. She's like, because she used to call them Part Tarts. She swore that was the name of them for like 40 years. But she was so excited that we're going and was like, you got to go buy as many boxes as you can.
Hold on. We're live, right? I'm making
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
live.
we're talking about Pop Tarts. I mean,
So I just realized, like, are we just actually talking about Pop Tarts for no reason right now? Okay. So
Well, yeah.
are we watching this Nagurski thing or what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still. I got it up on my phone. They're still doing the intro.
Intro
Okay,
ceremony.
so Michael, that's what I was talking about earlier in the thing. For the sake of everybody watching, what's the difference between the Nagurski and the Bednarik?
Yeah.
Okay.
two
So
different people.
yeah,
All right,
this-
and that's it. That's really about it, honestly.
That was kind of like
Yeah.
Nathan's response to you.
Hold on,
today,
let
Greg.
Michael answer the question though. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry for Greg's rudeness.
Hey, at least I followed instructions yesterday.
After you asked, I was looking it up. So the Nagurski is put on by the Touchdown Club. And it's only been around since '95, I think. And then I think the Bednarik is a little bit older, and that's the one that's on during the ESPN award ceremony show that they do on. I think it's this
like a
Friday
couple
night.
weeks.
That's the one
Yeah,
that's on there. So that one's I guess considered a little more prestigious. But
What channel
same-
is
same.
the show? What channel?
It's on
is taking-
YouTube.
That's how
On YouTube.
prestigious this
On,
one is.
on,
It's
on
on
just
YouTube.
on you just on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, so
Um,
the
not
Bednarik.
good. YouTube.
It's on Pack Football's Twitter page. The link to it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But real quick, y'all, I want to get some comments real quick while Megan's pulling it up here. So I got Pack House Farm in the chat. Go Pack, absolutely, and love the logo there too. Always a fan, huge fan of the channel. Michelle, appreciate you tuning in as always. Hunter, we will be talking to you today, or we'll be talking to you tonight a little bit here later. Yeah, let's see. Joshua says, my children love Pop Tarts. I mean, who doesn't love Pop Tarts? I mean,
I'm telling
there's
you.
gotta be one flavor that everybody likes. Like, gotta be
So-
one.
I feel like
Are we-
salted strawberry is like a
Strawberry,
universal-
yeah.
It's the
is a
classic.
universal.
Are we having this conversation now? Or are we going to continue this in the live show? What
We're
are we
going
doing?
all the way through it. It's Pop Tart month.
Because
I mean,
I
this
think
is
we
the
need to
live
have a
show.
taste testing thing right now, Greg. You got a lot, and Mackenzie, you got a lot. I think
I
we need
want you
like,
to try the Apple Jacks one. I want to know how that tastes.
I saw
Yeah, I
it.
wonder if that's
I
any
saw
good.
it,
Got it.
and I was like, I'm not willing to risk
Good.
my life.
Risk
Yeah, I'm
$3.99
gonna jump in
this
on
pop-
that. I think I'm most excited about some banana bread.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
have never.
I don't
seen
know,
that
man.
seen that.
I really,
haven't
I
seen
think
that
we need to
one.
do like, I think we
Game
need to do
changer.
like a taste testing episode, and we actually scientifically break down the best.
Or maybe do a
Maybe- That's a good
rankings, like
idea.
1 through
Yes,
We
one
do
through
that
I
for the
really
bowl
think-
preview.
I think that actually would be good content. And
Lindsay, you
see
have to
Pop
crop
Tarts,
all
please.
of this for this post tomorrow.
We need like a
Come
we
on.
need we
Like
need
a
a
5-minute
Lindsay's
Pop
red and
Tart
white
rant.
breakdown of the Pop Tart highlights.
Okay,
like,
next week,
blueberry,
y'all.
strong performance, but not as classic as the strawberry. Wildberry,
week,
great
y'all.
stuff.
The 6 of us will get together and pick Pop Tart flavors, and we'll all try them.
Banana bread came out of nowhere.
It just
Yeah, that
absolutely-
sounds intriguing. I've never had that one.
I
So
bet
so
that
the,
would be good.
so I got
I
two
bet it
more
would,
flavors coming. I got sugar cookie and Boston cream
Ooh.
pie.
They have sugar
Mm.
cookies. I'm about
Boston
to get
cream
on
pie
them right
does not
now.
sound good.
But Greg, do you
No.
did I sent the message in the group? Does anybody have the Funfetti one with them right now?
Yes.
I've had it
I
before.
didn't get the
Has
fun
anybody
Right
flavors.
now, I
tried
don't.
it?
Not right now.
I imagine you need to heat this one up a little bit for it to be really good because I imagine it's not good cold.
I may send my wife upstairs to get the toaster, and we may start just toasting some
And that is
Pop Tarts
exactly
live.
why.
You know, I could. You know what, Greg? I'll be right back.
That is exactly why the s'mores one is the best. Because s'mores
The
are
s'mores
just
is
as
so good.
good cold. Like I'm eating this straight out of the wrapper.
Yes, there are some that are only good toasted and then plain, but
Yeah.
Do y'all know
So-
people who like the like unfrosted ones?
I
Like
was
my
getting ready to ask
sister
that.
eats the unfrosted chocolate chip, and my dad
My
eats
mom
the
does too.
unfrosted strawberry.
well,
It just doesn't hit the same. I'm like, if I'm gonna get a
Mm.
Pop Tart, I'm gonna
Doesn't
go
hit
all
the
out.
same.
no,
right?
they're not as good. But my mom
Mm.
would only buy the unfrosted ones for us as kids because
Because they're
Oh,
healthier.
no.
Healthier.
Yeah,
Healthier.
yeah.
My dad
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
care.
That's what we're selling these as is healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy breakfast food.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
look on the box. It says that they're a great source of B vitamins.
All right.
Hey, they support.
Oh,
vets
man,
as
he's
well.
got
It
it.
is a
right.
B vitamin.
Megan's got the toaster, y'all. Megan's got
Black
the toaster.
and Decker toaster.
I just got a
So-
Black and Decker toaster.
So here's
That
what,
was
here's
the
what
red one.
I'm going to do. I don't have everyone. I fell short, but here's what I'm going to do for the show. I'm going to have my toaster here. I'm going to eat one of each like cold as you come out of the package. I'm going to toast it comes in a pack of 2, right? Then I'm going to
Yeah.
toast the next one, and I want to eat them like real quick to see how
Okay.
they do. So
We need to tag the Pop Tart Bowl in this.
Give me a minute.
I already tagged them.
I feel like it is-
And by the way, don't
Alright,
worry,
y'all.
everybody. We will be having some NC State conversations here eventually. I
Right.
promise you.
This is
It is
NC State.
NC
Right?
State conversation.
I'm just
Yeah.
thankful that I'm
Right
not
back.
eating mayonnaise out of a jar right now.
Right?
Yeah. I
yeah.
think we need to make a Pop Tart bracket, put it out on our socials, and then
Mhm.
fill it out individually in a video. That I think that would be
Ooh.
top tier content.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know in the chat, y'all. What's your favorite flavor? What's your favorite Pop Tart flavor? It got Andy, Mark, Amanda, Joshua. Let us know in the comments. What was your favorite Pop Tart flavor?
And he said, "Don't
He
try the
said-
snickerdoodles." I almost bought
Yeah.
those.
I have tried the snickerdoodles. They're not good. That's the only one.
They're not good. I feel like those
No.
would be really good.
So
I don't
Adam, right here, Adam Wilkinson. I just heard this for the first time today about putting butter on them when you toast them.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That
No,
sounds
but as
weird.
soon as they get out of the toaster,
makes sense.
flip them over
No, it
to the
makes sense.
non-frosted side.
Yeah,
Butter
just
them.
like
It's
I
better.
feel like that's next level.
Yeah.
mhm.
It is, but you have to go all out if you're eating the Pop Tart.
Look,
Does it
I
not
already
take
got
away from
look,
like the
no kidding
crispiness?
aside.
Oh,
I
man.
have like type 2 like low level diabetes. I really shouldn't be eating these, but I will do it for the fans.
Do it for the fans.
Okay. So which one do we want to start with? This is a question.
Start right to left.
Or wait, you don't
Right
have
to,
to.
which one is right on the screen? This is
Exactly.
Either way, just pick
Well,
one.
if we say
Alright.
right to left, that means you're left to right.
We're gonna start here. The classic, right? So we got
Classic.
Yeah.
I like it.
It doesn't
strawberry.
say classic on the box.
So
It should.
It's-
do we
Yeah.
take this like the smell of the box when you open it up? Like is that like a thing? Or the glaze is sprinkled as a bonus because that's an insignificant here. I mean,
It just smells like cardboard.
What I'm more worried about is the expiration date on these things. Like they
mine is
last
like a year.
long time.
Mine's July 24th. So I did notice the strawberry, at least this one. Maybe this is an older box, but July 9th. Every other one is October.
I got a
That's
November.
gotta-
here.
that's
I got
a demerit.
November
You,
24th.
you better
That's
eat those quick.
Right?
before they go bad.
Check yours. Check yours. I wonder if strawberries go bad early. All right, here we go.
I gotta go through my puberty.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Kyle coming in here saying strawberry all the way.
I
Fair
agree.
enough.
Hold on. I'm gonna get
Uh,
set up and go with this. Okay. Here's
yeah.
what my Pop Tart looks like
Mm.
right out. Looks nice.
Kellogg's
Good.
doesn't make gluten-free ones. I thought they
They're
did.
missing
Right.
an opportunity here.
They would really sell a crap ton.
Mhm.
Can you define
Uh,
a crap ton?
Hunter saying
Wow.
frosted strawberry. My mom swears they don't go bad.
They don't go bad.
and-
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then-
especially if you put them in the toaster, it freshens them right
Right.
up.
yeah.
Kills the germs.
Is that blueberry?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. I'm gonna
Blueberry.
get this one up. Would you rather me do one by one and like break it down, or would you want me to do like eat all of them
Do-
cold and then eat all of them hot?
I
Do
feel
do
like you
one,
gotta do one by
No,
one.
one flavor. Yeah,
Bro,
eat
Yeah.
one
that's a
flavor
lot
is-
of dang. That's a lot. Like, is Lindsay home?
Greg.
No. That's
Look-
the point.
This is his
No,
dinner.
Wait. Is she?
Megan's gonna be up all night.
I'm gonna be like,
Oh.
Lindsay, you're home. It's good to see you. I had a great show.
Hey, I don't know if you know. I don't know if you
Eating
know.
so many
but we went to
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts Bowl.
So,
Pop-Tarts
I-
Bowl.
she
I put
probably-
all the Christmas decorations. I love Christmas.
I feel like
Buddy
Pop
the
Tart
Elf on
should. I
steroids.
feel like Pop Tart
Yeah.
should have been one of Buddy the Elf's food groups.
All right.
Yeah.
So strawberry. Here we go.
Oh,
I'm
Buddy
gonna-
the Elf
I'm gonna go
does
from a
put Pop
corner.
Tarts
I'm eating from a
together.
corner. Do you guys eat straight on from a corner?
Oh God! Now we're
Corner.
going next level analyze.
Straight.
Corner.
Straight
Straight,
on?
on. That's like biting
Yeah.
into a Hershey bar. You gotta eat from
Michael,
the corner.
Michael's a serial killer if he eats a straight
Well,
on.
and here's
No,
why.
no. Wait.
And here, I got a reason why. All right, because I believe if you eat in the middle, the corner you don't get to will fall off because it's not big enough. You know what I mean? I feel
The
like
corner
but-
is like the best part.
I never
of
have a
everything.
problem with
Yeah,
it.
the
See,
corner's
okay,
so good.
So hold on.
Here's-
Seriously, they're starting to talk on here now. Do we need to actually pay attention?
Oh yeah, we need.
Yeah.
we
Hey.
completely forgot about Peyton. Sorry, y'all.
Sometimes,
All
sometimes
seriousness, I like Zucker. He's one of my favorite. Like, he's got a great
He is
voice.
good.
Yeah.
I am going to eat
Yeah.
this as we go along.
do it and
Well,
keep us up
sometimes-
to date as we go.
With the Pop
See, I'm with
Tarts,
I'm
No,
with
I'll
Brian
wait,
here.
I'll wait.
I'm with Brian in the chat. I haven't had a Pop Tart in like 20 to 25 years. I was talking to my wife
Really?
today. I was like, when was the last time I had a Pop Tart? She says, you never had a Pop Tart since we've been together. We've been together 11 and a half years. So
Yeah, mine. I think the last time I ate a Pop Tart or bought a Pop Tart, it might have been 5 to 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, it's been a
okay.
while.
I'm okay reliving some good memories.
Yeah. Well, I had them a lot in college, so I think that's the problem. Is I ate so many of them, and I'm like,
Oh
they're
yeah.
not healthy.
In
If I
college,
eat,
this
if
was
I
my
have them in my house,
breakfast.
I'm gonna eat them.
So the one thing I have eaten a lot of, not a lot, but those special K bars, which is kind of like a Pop Tart.
Oh my
Sort of.
God, no! What?
Get the generic brand out of here.
It's the same
No,
concept.
No, it's the
but
same
not even
company. It's
close.
made by
But
Kellogg's.
they're better for you, so they're not pop.
Is the name?
Correct.
Is it a Pop Tart?
They're not pop
It's
tart.
a Pop Tart.
Is it a
But
Pop
y'all
Tart?
had the Pop Tart. But have y'all had the Pop Tart bites?
Yes.
Like, where
I
those
know
hit.
those.
That used to be my go-to breakfast in high school. I'd take them in the car on my way to school. They were so good.
I wish they came more than 5 in a bag though.
I know 5 is
That's
not
why
enough.
they're healthy. There's only 5.
Yeah, exactly. They're like 100 calories. Yay. And it's like, yeah, you get five little things.
And they're like this big.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Brian, Avon Ferry Complex alumni right here too, man.
Yeah.
Avon Ferry Complex. Let's go. Rise up. And
Rise
then Ken's your twin says you have to toast it with butter on the backside.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, Mama.
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Mama, what do you call him? She's gonna be so mad that I said that.
Yeah, she probably didn't
Yeah,
tune
Brian's
in.
with us. Pop Tart, nothing like the Special K bar.
In a good way or bad way?
I like the Special K bars, but like, I don't know. They're not a Pop Tart.
It's a Pop Tart.
Is it?
So here, when I eat one, sometimes I eat the outside, the breading, and then save the middle with all the frosting.
Michael
in
is
the
a
middle.
Oh, you are a
Psychopath?
psycho.
Yeah.
I was just saying the same. You are a psycho.
Michael, you gotta
That's
learn
how
how
you
to
get
eat
ultimate
Pop-Tart.
sugar.
So
That
I feel
is,
like
it's the ultimate sugar.
I feel like your wife, your beautiful wife, probably doesn't know these things about you, and all these things are coming out now that she has a ring on it. So
Right.
So, what I'm trying to figure out seriously, what are we doing right now? He's trying to do like fun things right now, and I'm really like, just
Yeah,
tell
I
me
don't know what's going
Peyton
on.
wins or doesn't win.
is this gonna be like an hour show?
I
Right.
don't think so. I thought it was gonna be
think so.
15 minutes because they started at 7:45.
Does anybody know what
Right.
the butt kiss trophy looks like?
It has Dick Buckus on it.
I love
Like
that.
the Nagurski's pretty cool. I know. Oh yeah, so like the Nagurski's the guy is like this. The
Mhm.
Yeah,
butt
he's
kiss is
like
like his
this,
hands
yeah.
are on his legs. The Beneric is like a plaque thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you're
Do
saying
you-
that right.
Been there.
Real quick, Heather said, Greg, that
Beneric.
she'll bring some butter to the tailgate. So she
Heather's
got you
in.
covered.
How many people in here right now are going to Orlando?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think I should go on with the review of the Pop Tarts or
Pause it 1
What?
second.
Okay,
Oh, someone
someone
said
in the
that-
Discord
yeah.
says it's a long award show, so we might want to move on and
gosh.
bounce back.
Okay.
okay?
keep it
So
in
what
the
we're
I know,
gonna do
like,
is I'm gonna eat this and we're gonna go along. So all right, strawberry.
All right.
Enjoy.
Well, hold
Okay,
on.
one-
What did I dive into? Should I do the banana bread? I don't think.
I
anyone
think
knows
you need
about
to. No,
this
I
thing.
think you need to do it with me, and then like we'll go to bonus rounds with all the ones you and
Oh,
Mackenzie
this
have that I
crowd,
don't
they're
have.
crazy.
Well, so,
So
I
we
have
get, like,
strawberries. You want me to break out strawberries? What you're
Strawberry,
saying?
do it.
All right,
Mackenzie, you
hold
should
on.
try out strawberry.
All right, hold on. All right, that one's over
No,
there.
I'm gonna ruin my pyramid.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Then don't do it. Don't do it. Just
All right.
be like Van and
Just-
White
yeah,
with
just
it,
slide
and just
them
like
over.
show
Think
how
and
nice.
do. Think
Hey,
and
by the
do.
way, Macon, to answer your question, October 13th, 2024 is when my strawberry Pop
Okay,
Tarts
I just bought
expire.
an older
To,
one.
to-
Okay,
to
now.
full circle that conversation.
All right.
Hold on.
So
All right, y'all.
honestly, this is like one of my pet peeves. I watch like Disney like blogs and like there's always people eating, and I was like, I hate watching people eat. So
Just mute when you're chewing.
Like ASMR.
good call. Good call.
Yeah, no,
Mute
no,
when
we're
you're
good.
chewing. I want to do it right in the microphone. So-
ASMR, you gotta like tap the microphone.
Oh,
I'm gonna-
I
I'm
and
gonna
get
open
it.
it in front of the
I'm gonna hear like
microphone.
the saliva swirling around.
Oh
my mouth.
no,
Ew.
gross.
So they don't really smell like strawberry.
It
They
kind
don't
of
really
smells like
smell
all
like
It
sealed up.
smells like straight up cardboard.
It feels like
It
Because
is.
they're in
yeah.
wrappers.
Okay, Greg. Here, cheers, Greg. Here we go.
All
Cheers.
right, hold on. Let me get there. Hold on.
Come on, Greg. You just.
Um,
I think Greg is not a true Pop Tart fan.
Brian,
I
these are
Told you I haven't
unfortunately
eaten one
out of
since 25 years. So how can I,
I
even
will
be a Pop
say,
Tart? They won't
he
even
did-
open.
He did like legit order every Pop Tart bread he could find.
I did.
Wait, do
And
any of
scissors.
y'all have the
Oh, got it.
Eggo Pop Tarts?
Oh,
I
I
saw
those.
them.
Greg,
Yeah.
hurry up with the
They
daggum
intrigued
strawberry
me.
Pop
Right.
Tart. Okay,
All right.
wait, we're eating now. Oh, wait, okay.
Oh, here's
life changing. By the way, Brian, so just a reminder to everybody that Macon does have a toaster with him, so he
He's
will
got
be
the toaster.
Oh,
toasting
I'm
it.
right here. If you can't see it, I already showed up. I've got. So what we're doing is I'm going to do this. I'm going to Greg, why are you laughing?
I love it.
It's like, Greg, what do you think about how it tastes, man? You love it, don't you? I know that
these
you were
things
laughing.
suck.
You can't say that, Greg.
No, they're good.
You're gonna
They'd
get
be like,
kicked
oh,
out of the
sorry.
Pop
Are
Tart
you the
Bowl,
guy who
Greg.
said our sponsor sucks? You're not allowed in the game.
So
Yeah.
I bought my ticket. They got my money.
No, these
Yeah.
are better. These are
Oh.
better toasted. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
You
I
have
can
to
see
toast these.
I can see the butter angle on this too because it moistens it up a little bit, and it's not like
I hate that
Like-
word.
Oh yeah.
moistened.
So
I hate that word.
I'm gonna toast my Pop
Moisten.
Tart. It's toasting right now. I just clicked it. I don't know if you saw it.
It's gonna pop and scare all of us.
Okay,
but
here's
it
my thought. The strawberry is good because it's a little tartier. Yeah.
Party.
I'm gonna be
So
walking
many
to work. I'm gonna
calories.
walk into work tomorrow. I'll be like 350 pounds. I'll be like, oh my gosh.
Oh, righty.
Yeah.
All right, so my
Y'all.
wife is going to get the toaster too, Macon. So
Oh,
we can
well, she
we
needs
can
to
do
hurry
some
up 'cause I just toasted it,
analyzing on
so.
the hot toasting points.
It's really hard to talk when I'm also listening to this guy about Bronco Nagurski in my ear.
Hey, Adam
Yeah.
Wilkinson, we appreciate you joining. I'm sorry this is the episode you came in on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. no,
Should I go ahead to blueberry or do I need to wait?
pause 1 second. So,
All right.
yeah, one second
The
here.
strawberry's toasting, Greg. It's warm. I'm literally warming my hand right now.
All
Don't burn
right,
yourself.
y'all.
Hey, get some butter.
Meatloaf!
Meatloaf. Yes, baby. Will Ferrell's a king.
All right, y'all.
This is the weirdest live show we've ever done.
Well, real quick, and when I say real quick, I mean I'm not losing control of this show again. We're bringing this thing back in here. But the one thing which I'll ask is this the best live show we've ever had so far,
Yes.
or is the number 47 fan show live show the best we've ever had when we dressed up as number 47? That was
Well,
pretty good.
looking back on it now, it's depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun at the
Exactly.
time.
Hey,
Okay,
that's my
so
son. My
I
son
toasted
says,
mine,
get that
Greg.
butter.
Greg. So I'm toasting. Does it actually say on here how to toast it?
Not very long.
What? I'm going to say a minute. Let's just do a minute.
A
It's
minute?
like a one number.
How
minute.
do you use-
What
Yeah.
what I feel really
Okay,
bad
30
about
seconds. 30
30 seconds.
what I
No.
feel really bad about here is Chelsea Dickerson is
Toast,
one
it says
of
toast on lowest setting.
the best baker around, and we're probably just destroying desserts right now for
All
her.
right.
Look
I'm
what
eating
mom.
the
Look
toasted.
what mom
I'm
just
eating
brought
this
me,
right
y'all.
now. Okay, so
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Of
I'm
course,
eating
I'm an
this
NC
right
State
now.
toaster.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The olive oil.
Of course, your toaster's
Mm.
even at NC State.
I really have a problem, y'all. I got this for Christmas from my principal in high school.
Okay, I can see why you want to toast it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, a
yeah.
little more gooey.
I honestly
gooey.
never would toast it.
Dude.
They would just eat into that or good that way.
No, they're
Yeah.
so much better toasted.
I feel like
Most of them.
Kins, you need to do one with the NC State logo on it. That's next level.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
Alrighty,
Instagram
y'all.
You're
that
right. I
stuff.
don't know if I can do this much sugar, guys, but I'm going to do it for the sake of the show.
Let's go. All right, so real quick, y'all got to give a shout out to Adam Wilkinson as well for joining the channel as a member. Again, if you want to support us, for a couple ways to do it. First and foremost, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And then also too, if you want to become a member, again, I think it's only $1 a month. It's $1 or $2 a month. It's very, very cheap to do it, and it really goes a long way for us. So if you want to support us and what we do, that would be a huge way to do it. So thank you, Adam, for doing it. We appreciate it, and welcome to the fam. All righty.
See,
So
if you don't join, then you don't get to see as much great content like this, right? So,
I know, right? Like,
everybody be with-
I mean, I do gotta say, like between Macon, Kens, and Greg, I mean, you're seeing 3 pretty awesome, unique Pop Tart setups for sure. And Kens is about to set something on fire. It looked like.
Honestly, the smoke is coming out of this thing like crazy.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to blueberry. So,
Look
okay,
at how-
Blake, you're the moderator. Hello.
Oh man.
You have actual blueberry, or you
Wait,
just have, like,
are you
wild
legit
berry?
set up outside right now?
I'm in
It's
my
in the
basement.
garage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, I
basement,
thought she
yeah.
literally has a Pop-Tart stand. Her neighbors are going to drive around and be like, what is this crazy person doing?
I might need to do
Yeah.
a Pop-Tart stand to pay for
All
my
right,
trip. to
blueberry is
Orlando.
happening.
All righty, y'all. So with that
Mm.
being said, let's start bringing in, start talking a little bit of Tuffy talk / football content real quick.
You don't want to listen
So-
to Pop-Tarts the whole time?
I know, right?
Pop-Tart
Our poor listeners on Spotify right now are going, "Oh my gosh, like, what is going on with these guys?" But anyway, so one thing that we did not address in the tweets of the week that I wanted to bring up
Oh, I
real quick,
cracked it. Ooh,
and
sorry.
we're getting deep into it quickly, y'all. Like we're going from fun to serious, y'all.
Hold on,
because
hold on, hold on.
I know, yeah. Give me the serious look, Greg.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's right.
mhm.
That's right.
Blueberry.
All right, y'all. Our man, athletic director, Boo Corrigan.
Well, I don't. Can we like slide into this topic because we went from like, hey, let's have a good time to
whoa,
like,
dude.
Boo
It's like-
Corrigan.
We're
I
talking
said
about
it.
Pop-Tarts to
Hey.
Boo Corrigan. This is a big
Hey,
jump.
That's a
listen.
big leap. That's a big leap.
depressing.
Well, I figured what better way to kick it into gear than just to absolutely punch you right in the stomach. But so obviously there's been a lot of backlash for Boo Corrigan because of the decisions for Blueberry, solid, no doubt.
No, it's Blueberry.
It's Blueberry. Ooh, it's Blueberry. Oh, I love it. Yeah, smart, Greg. All right. So let us know in the chat, y'all, what y'all think about each of these topics as we go. But Boo Corrigan been getting a lot of backlash of the news that Florida State did not make it to the college football playoff and Alabama instead. And the first thing which I want to say first and foremost once again is I feel for him for a sort, but I mean at the end of the day, I have no idea. I'm sure he knew what he was getting into when he decided to accept the job as the college football chairperson, the main guy for the college football playoff committee. But the one thing which I'll say to it once again is that with that designation did not come any additional votes. He gets a vote, he gets a say, along with the other 18 members of the college football playoff committee. So
and he's the mouthpiece.
Yeah, so he is the mouthpiece. He is the guy, the face. He is the one out there explaining what the committee said. But all these people saying that Boo Corrigan ruined the ACC, Boo Corrigan, screwed FSU. Like, no, it wasn't on him. And anybody who says otherwise, again, to me, you're honestly looking for some, a reason saying it's his fault, and I think that's honestly what it is. It's Boo Corrigan's fault that Florida State got screwed. And the other thing which I want to say real quick, and I'll let Greg come in here. And just because I know that if I just open up to everybody, then everybody's going to jump in on this. So I'll go Greg first. But there's a lot of when I put out a tweet, putting backing up Boo Corrigan. I said a piece in there saying about how if Alabama didn't get in, FSU got in, there'd be just as much backlash, but from the opposite side. And somebody was saying, well, like that's a dumb take. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's pretty obvious. I think honestly. And I've heard from all kinds of different national media who all agree that for the people who think Florida State should have gotten in instead of Bama, you're right. For the people who think that Bama should have gotten in instead of FSU, you're right. I mean, like they both have great reasons to get in. And unfortunately, there was a lot of dominoes that didn't fall their way. Georgia lost to Bama. That hurt them. LSU didn't do as good throughout the rest of the season as Florida State needed them to. If LSU was a top 8 or 9 team, then maybe that would have helped them. And then, with Jordan Travis getting hurt, which again, there's no blame on Travis whatsoever. You cannot blame Jordan Travis for him getting injured. There's no blame on him. But then unfortunately, it made it a factor. Now, whether that should have been a factor or not, that's a whole nother conversation. But I just think it was just more I hate to say it, but a lot of bad luck, a lot of dominoes that did not fall Florida State's way. And that fell Alabama's way for this game. So, Greg, okay, fine. You know what? You're eating. Lindsay, give me your thoughts.
You gotta come back to me. So hold on.
I know.
Butter is good. Butter on the toasted, solid.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to try that, Kent. I've never heard that suggestion, but now I'm all into it. Okay.
Layton's
how I feel about Corrigan. I agree. Yeah, Corrigan's not the whole committee. Somebody would be mad either way, no matter what happened. He's the mouthpiece, and that sucks that ends up with criticism for him. But I like Carson's comment here. Fortunately, the playoffs are expanding next year, so this madness won't happen again.
Not to this extent.
It's gonna happen next year.
Yeah,
but not to this
the 11 seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So next year's 12 teams or 11 teams instead of 12 teams instead of 4, because it does suck to tell a team that went undefeated all season that they can't make it. So I think expanding it to the top 12 provides more opportunities for other teams that maybe had a standout year but aren't a football dynasty, or who did have a major injury but are still worthy of a playoff spot. And it provides the opportunity that anything could happen in the way that it does in March Madness, which obviously March Madness is way more teams, but kind of that same level of several levels of competition before the championship game. I think it is unfortunate that it happened at FSU. I don't think it's Boo's fault. I don't think it's necessarily anybody's fault. So I hope we don't see madness to this same level when there's 12 teams, but I know that someone will be mad about who does and doesn't make the playoffs every year.
Yep.
So if you want to place blame, I'm going to take you back a little bit. to John
Okay.
Swafford.
Mm.
John Swafford really set this conference up for failure with the Raycom deal with his little son, little nepotism. Love that. Then we were so reactive, not proactive, when other conferences were building up their brands for football, whereas the ACC put all their eggs in basketball. And we don't have a propaganda machine like the SEC network, like a Paul Feinbaum, like Greg Sankey. I think it's Sankey, right? And that the ACC network was about 2 to 3 years after it should have been around. And so, if you want to place blame, it's been a slow burn for this whole time. And now, the again, and then here's the other part that I didn't mention is the ACC was slow to respond in conference realignment or conference adding of programs, of quality programs, to where, when you see an SEC team, quote unquote, run the gauntlet, they get more credence than an ACC team that runs the gauntlet, right? So I think, if you want to place blame, it's a series of events. I don't think you can pinpoint it on necessarily yesterday and Boo Corrigan and the committee selecting who they selected. And I will go back to eating Pop-Tarts now.
Yeah. Michael, making either y'all want to get in real quick?
Yeah.
Michael.
Bacon's like, I'm working on my Pop-Tarts over here. No.
Macon's in a sugar coma right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of echoing a lot of what's already been said, but it's like Boo's the chair of the committee, and hopefully he's going to bear the reaction to what happens. But he's not the sole reason for the decision, right? He's still only one of 13, and he knows that. That's what he signed up for. There's a lot of incentives that goes along with being the chair of the college football playoff. But yeah, I disagree with the decision, but at the same time, if you look at the directives they had, the criteria they use, there was always that door left open to leave them
That was
out.
the committee's get out of jail free card, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've also seen people talk about putting in the best teams versus the most deserving teams. People are saying, okay, last year maybe TCU was a deserving team, but then we got a national championship game that was a joke. And it was like, is FSU very deserving? Yes. Are they, without their starting quarterback, one of the best 4 teams? That's what you have to debate.
Yeah.
And I don't think we saw enough of them post that injury for the committee to confidently say they are one of the best 4 teams even without him. And I know that's not really supposed to be a part of it, but it definitely is. So I think that after that TCU, that like best versus most deserving is a big part of it.
My thing is the thing that's frustrating is we were about to have a college football playoff with no SEC team in the top 4. And magically Alabama gets put in. I mean, I feel like it's definitely they didn't want to have a college football playoff without an SEC team in, because the SEC is known as a powerhouse of college football. And like Greg's doing is money.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar
bill, y'all.
The thing for me is a team is more than their quarterback. Florida State's defense could go up against any team in the country. I stand on that statement. Their defense is great. And I think that, I saw on Twitter today, we're not really giving them enough credit. They went up against the top 15 team with their 3rd string quarterback, beat them by double digits for a championship game. Like, that's pretty impressive. So
the SEC team gives up 10 points or whatever it was. That's great. That's awesome.
Well,
it's just the disrespect.
ACC, it's like, they had horrible offense.
The disrespect towards the ACC is just bad. It's ridiculous, and it breaks my heart for Mike Norvell and Jordan Travis and that team, because my dad was a diehard Florida State fan before he became a State fan. So like knowing how that fan base is, and I just put ourselves in those shoes. Like, what if State went 13-0? Like, that's not something that happens every year. So if we got left out because of one of our quarterbacks got hurt. I just feel like that's just not right to do.
So Macon, let me kind of throw up a question to you,
Sure.
as you bring in here. So first and foremost, Drew did bring up the point that unfortunately each ACC school, because of this, lost out on $2.5 million that now goes to SEC schools. But Kyle does bring up a good point, saying the boo has to also be nonpartisan in his position to a point. So, that's another thing to keep in mind. But like,
if I was willing to bet, I bet he went with Florida State.
I mean,
here's can I start from there? Here's what I was up front. I thought Florida State got screwed. I mean, that's my first thought. I really think they did. What else are they supposed to do? I mean, well, I could go on about it. Go ahead, Layton.
Yeah. Well, because let me ask you this. All right, so because in my opinion, if they would have put in FSU, the answer to Bama would have been, well, you should have been in Texas. You play Texas at home. If you're being Texas at home, you'd be in.
No questions about it. It's fair. It's measurable.
But
it's a Power 5 conference.
Right. But the thing with FSU is, why did you not get in? Because your quarterback got hurt. I mean, that's
okay. So here's the question for that. Here's the question. Let's put this shoe on the other foot. Do you really think they would have left Alabama out if the shoe's on the other foot? And let's say they won with their third string quarterback against Georgia. Okay, I don't care if it's Georgia. Do you really think they left them out? Oh well, they're playing Macon Adams at quarterback. He's not good. We're not playing.
The precedent was already there with Cordell Jones back in the day with Ohio State. I mean, I'm not comparing FSU's third string quarterback to Cordell Jones. Please don't let me get that twisted. But again, a third string quarterback came in during their conference championship game. Now, granted, they put up a ton of points in that game.
They won 59-0.
Yeah.
If Florida State wins the ACC championship 59-0, there may be a little different conversation.
Right. And I think honestly, if it's won by 20 points or more, I think they get in, right?
Yeah.
I think it was just too close for comfort. Here was the other thing that I was going to say. You know what? It left me. So keep jumping in. I'll come back.
Well,
so I wanted.
Oh, go ahead, Michael. Yeah, please.
Were you going to highlight what Mark said there?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, it kind of goes along with that, and kind of goes back to what Lindsay said. Whether it's the best or the most deserving, it should be. It should be the best of the most deserving teams, right? Florida State is a deserving team. They're not one of the best 4 teams. If it was the best 4 teams, Georgia would have been in. But Georgia also wasn't deserving because they lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game there. So it's like it should be a mix of the two.
Well, how crazy is that though to go through the whole season, win 12 games, and you lose the 13th, and you're done?
Yeah,
like that's insane.
Well, and because one thing, too, is that I think that a lot of people, also talk about the system, saying, because the thing I say is, like, for example, Florida State, I mean, their strength of schedule is 55th, but their strength of record was 3rd in the country. So, if you're looking at analytics, you're saying, I mean, per the strength of record, they did enough to be one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Right.
But, we had the old system, which is the BCS system, where it's completely decided by analytics. And then we have the AP poll / college football playoff site, where it's decided by guys in a room, So it's there's no perfect system,
Well, and if it was the BCS, Florida State would have been in, I think, as like the 3 seed. I think from the
Texas would have been out. It would have been Alabama and Florida State actually by the BCS computer.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say, like, you can nitpick and find, whatever angle you want to make to kick someone out of this tournament, because, like, you look at Alabama, they need a Hail Mary the week before the championship game to escape an Auburn team that lost to New Mexico State the week before.
Yeah.
So here's go ahead.
So I mean, you can go through the schedule and find, a place like Florida State. Barely, I think they beat Boston College by, I think, like 3 points. I think it was like 31-28 or something like that. You can find instances of that. I don't know if Florida State is one of the 4 best teams, but there's a reason you go play the games, right? If if you're using that criteria, NC State should never have been in the 83 tournament and won, even though they won their conference, right? Like you go play the games. You let it happen. And back to the TCU thing last year, they won a game in the playoff. They got boat race in the finals, but at least they went out and won a game.
Right.
if it happens, it happens. I mean,
that's like what Mike Norvell said in his statement. He said, "What's the point of playing games?
Yeah,
like if you're automatically just going to jump to who the best 4 is, what's the point of the first 12 weeks? Like, just have one game, and then whoever the best 4 teams in the country is after that, put them in the championship. Like, it's just.
I mean,
ridiculous.
the 14 playoff was always set up for failure when you have 5-power conference, and this is just we're 10 years. What is this, 9th year or 10th year? I don't know, but it's amazing it hasn't happened before this, where you have a team from each of the 5 conferences really deserving.
Well, that's because none of the precedents had happened before, right? An SEC team always had gotten in, and in Power 5,
it always worked itself out somehow,
one way or the other, right?
And this is the first year where you had
where they first
3 undefeated teams. Yeah.
And
so Macon, I know you've been trying to get in here, bud. So I want to give you the last statement for this, and then we'll move on to some Tuffy's mailbag questions here while we're still watching the Brock and Nagurski Award.
Are you going to? Are you by chance showing that Carson Wentz tweet?
We are. Yeah, we can.
I'll say that for later.
Okay.
I mean, my issue. Well, you can tell that now. Okay, so I'll talk about it real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So I shared this with the guy. I saw this. So we're like, oh, well, the percent. So Boo Corrigan said one of the questions the committee discussed that made a deciding factor between Florida State and Alabama was who would you want to play right now, or who would you not want to play right now? That's what he said on national TV. That is so subjective, and I get that. And probably, you don't want to play a fully healthy Alabama versus a third-string quarterback, Florida State. But what's the point? I mean, what everybody's saying, I'm not going to repeat it very much, but it's like, what's the point of playing the games? Like, what's the point?
To that point, Macon, if you saw the reaction when Michigan saw that they were playing Alabama, that was a defeated room right then and there. Because they thought they were getting Florida State.
Play Alabama. Yeah.
They thought they were getting Florida State. They were going to have an easy ride to the championship. And then it was like, and number 4, Alabama. They're like, oh,
right.
Oh, sorry. We should clap. We should clap.
It sucks for Florida State, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to be a better playoff. You're probably going to have better set of semifinals games.
Sure, but so this point here is for those who can't see it, was a tweet. Some guy Ari Mirov from I don't know who he is, but he said he got
an NFL guy.
Yeah, he said, imagine if the NFL took the Eagles out from postseason play in 2017 because MVP candidate Carson Wentz got hurt. And there would be no Cinderella story. Now, it's
not a good analogy.
I think it is, because
why not?
Why not? What would it not be?
Because that's not how the NFL's playoffs are set up, right? The way the college football playoff is set up is that it is a committee that picks the teams, right? I don't know.
Well, sure. My whole point is, like, if they were to say, I guess the situation is, imagine if they were to pick teams, you wouldn't necessarily think who should get in or who shouldn't get in because who do you want to play right now. My other thought was with Boo Corrigan, what I think he did. I agree with you guys. I don't think it's his fault. We didn't get that Florida State didn't get in, but I will say what I took issue with is, on national television, he didn't seem to at all help Florida State's case out. He didn't even have an inkling of position, in my opinion, to show that he thought, Florida State, undefeated season. He kind of undercut Florida State in his comments, in my opinion. And I don't know if he was trying to do that. I don't think he necessarily was, but I just thought he didn't help the ACC even in his comments. And he's not there advocating for the ACC. He's supposed to
be, that's what I'm saying. He can't do
but he could have at least pointed out Florida State had this, Alabama had this. At the end of the day, his definitive reason the committee said was basically, it was subjective. We think Alabama's tougher to play.
I think he would have.
I'm like, how can you be subjective on that?
To your point, Macon, I think he could have handled the interview a little bit better, come off a little bit stronger. He didn't sound as confident as you probably would like in that instance. He could have said, like, "Hey, the room was split. It was a tight vote." Like, obviously they could have said,
it was tight. He didn't say anything like that. He gave nothing to
right.
I will say maybe that may be an indication that he didn't totally agree with the decision.
I
he had to go out there and say that.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't his decision to go out there.
But he also came across as inconsistent. Nice. He also came across as inconsistent because he would say like he when Florida State Alabama, it was like this is who would you rather play right now, who would you not? But then he goes to Liberty and he talks about how Liberty got into a bowl game. He's like, they just kept on winning.
That was kind of
like,
the anti.
You sound
that was
inconsistent.
the exact opposite. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good point.
That tells me that it wasn't based off of they just decided we have to put an SEC team in my opinion. They beat Georgia, so we got to. So,
but again, this doesn't come down to Boo Corrigan. But
correct.
I do agree with you, Macon.
Correct.
I do agree with
He's
you.
one vote.
I think this is a good point here too.
Do you, Preacher Man? Do you think what FSU did earlier in the year played a factor when they were holding the ACC for ransom?
I don't think so, because the vast majority of the people voting in that probably weren't even following that story to the level of what Boo would have, right?
Sure.
We don't know who voted how or whatever, but my guess and my hope now, and again, maybe he didn't even see it this way, but you would advocate for your own conference, especially if there's a benefit to you in the long game of getting
Jim
$2.5
there
million.
Too, right? Jim Grove's in the room.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he was an ACC guy, but he's not anymore. But I think the one thing too that people are upset about is that Boo hasn't really come out and said anything on his own accord, like outside of the CFP. If we had,
he's ever going to.
No, because it's not his style, and that's where I was going with the point. Is Debbie Yao would have probably made a couple of statements by now.
She already has.
That's her style. Yeah, I've seen her. I've seen it.
Debbie Yao would have had her own little talk show about it.
But again, it goes back. This whole thing goes back to the squeaky wheel. The SEC has they're a propaganda machine, and they just pump out information, and they have. Paul Feinbaum, he's a talking head for them. They know and they get how to play the game. And the ACC is so far behind in that it's not even funny. And unfortunately, even though this isn't Boo's fault, he's got to take the fall for it because there's so many misinformed people out there. And now, you've seen the tweets out there about, blaming NC State for this. And, they were the final vote for expansion. And now they blundered.
And now they're putting that on Boo.
But it's all Carolina fans just trying to stay relevant.
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure.
Like,
for sure.
You just lost to us 3 times. You're just trying to say something to put you on top. Like, chill out.
But it just
doesn't make sense.
It's ignorant and misinformed.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: when people read that, they just take it for salt, and they think that it's factual. So then they run with that stupid narrative.
Yeah.
And so we need to bust that up.
I tweeted that out too with the UNC fans saying, "Oh, Boo's killed the ACC." You guys voted against expansion. You guys want out of the ACC, isn't that
right?
what you want?
Like,
isn't he helping you get where you want to be?
Yeah,
this is what you want to happen.
I mean, they're height. I think. Oh nope, they're highlighting the Notre Dame guy. Never mind. Sorry, I saw NC State highlights come up. Like, oh man, here comes Peyton Wilson. But nope, they're just highlighting the Notre Dame dude.
To be honest, y'all can call me crazy. None of them really compare to Peyton, in my opinion.
Oh, totally. We think that in our non-biased opinion. Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
but like just watching, like looking at all their stats and like all they do, like Peyton was the leader on this team and everything.
Is the linebacker from Iowa?
No,
a finalist.
Not yet. I haven't seen it. It was a guy from Georgia
for this one.
Yeah,
there's a guy from Iowa,
Illinois.
It's 5 finalists. Yeah, the linebacker for
because there's an Iowa helmet there. There's an Iowa helmet.
I think he is. DeJean?
He's like a cornerback, and he's like.
Oh, it's not the same guy then.
Their coach looks like they could just suit up. He could suit up and go play for him.
Yeah, I think Peyton's going to win this. I don't think it's going to be very close.
Fingers crossed. All right, y'all. Let's jump on over some Tuffy's mailbag real quick, y'all. Here we go. All right. So first question here: will any of the Tuffy Talk team members be attending the David Thompson statue unveiling on Wednesday?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
No. I will not be.
I will not. I know. I want to be.
Michael will be there. Michael's going to be there, right, Michael?
He's getting on his private jet.
Catching a red eye.
Flying in, yeah.
The night before.
I'm going for a Pop Tart.
I think it's going to be really sweet and really great. I have to work.
Yeah, there's no doubt that. I mean, I obviously I don't think I don't think they've sneak peeked it or given a thing, but I think it's gonna. I hate to use this analogy, and I hope they kind of do it, but don't make it look too much, because obviously his name is Skywalker, so I feel like he's gonna have to be dunking, right?
Yeah.
But it's got to be to where there's no like, oh gosh, that looks like Michael Jordan. Like I just hope that that they're very judicious in the way they design this thing. But I'm excited. I'm sure there has to be a rim involved, and he has to be above it.
Yeah.
If I'm just just taking guesses.
The Panthers are 1-11, so they can live without me for a day. So I'll be there.
Let's go.
Are they gonna miss you?
They don't need me.
Yeah.
Just put out a tweet, L.
Honestly, that's all you have to put.
Yeah, rough. And then Pac-Man 26 asked, and this was after we made the presentation, with the transfer portal being a hot mess across the country, is there a solution to reduce attrition? And the first thing I'll say to that is we actually interviewed Chris Vernakis today with Pack of Wolves, and so that episode will be coming out on Wednesday, where we kind of talk about NIL and how that impacts the transfer portal, things like that. But I mean, so Megan, give me your thoughts. Is there a way to reduce attrition, or do you think it's just going to be the name of the game now?
That's a really big question. I don't know exactly how you reduce attrition at this point, especially when you stop paying players. I mean, when money's involved now, they're going to go after the dollar bills, and
along with everything else, so playing time.
I really don't. I mean, but they were, before playing time was still an option for people who wanted to transfer. It just wasn't anywhere near this rampant. The difference to me is money. I think it's just the way it is, guys. I mean, I saw some tweet that there's been something like 1,600 players who've announced their intentions to transfer across all of college football, regardless of division or whatever it is. So I think it was since the portal opened up today, there's like 400 plus players who entered in, but there's another few hundred who've said they are transferring or whatever. I don't know how it works, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's just the way it is now. If you stop paying players, I think it will go away. I mean,
but that's not
then. I really don't know if it's any more complicated than that, in my opinion.
I think you have to, they had some hearings last week on Capitol Hill, mostly about the NIL. And I think if you figure out the NIL game, then you can potentially ring it back in for the transfer portal. I almost think, and I kind of was joking about it, I think 2 weeks ago, it's going to get to the point where these guys are and even gals in female related sports, because let's not forget they transfer as well. But I think you're going to start seeing like player contracts, and I know scholarships are year to year, but I think you're going to want to see, both ends, right? I think players are going to want that protection to know that, hey, they potentially have a spot for next year, and, sign 2-3 year deals.
Crazy.
Because I think that everyone needs that job security, if you will. Like, coaches need to know that they are going to have a player in waiting, because the big thing is like the quarterbacks, right? Like you sign these freshman quarterbacks to hopefully sit on the bench for a year or two, learn your system, get stronger, take mental reps, so on and so forth. But at this point, there's no guarantee that they're going to be there when it's their time, and it's almost, you're just developing from them for the next team.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was Mike Glennon. He was on the the Pack of Wolves,
Pack Therapy
podcast, and he brought up the point saying that he did some thinking, and he woke up one morning and said, "Man, I am the last quarterback that started and ended his career at NC State. Every other quarterback since then either started somewhere else or."
Crazy. Wow, I didn't think about that.
Well, I guess that's crazy, because again, Jacoby Brissett came from Florida, Ryan Finley came from Boise, Bailey Hockenman came from Florida State,
Jack Chambers,
Devin
Leary left.
Yep. So
MJ and Brennan.
Yep. Yeah. Brennan. So yeah, it's crazy to think about. But and then one interesting tweet too, which I received as well after we made the PowerPoint, was how there was a list that came out, comprehensive list of the total number of players that enter the transfer portal per team. And we actually have the most right now at 14 in the country. That's actually the most right now transfers in the transfer portal.
But we also knew that this was going to be a reset year anyway because of the NIL situation, that they're no longer offering the $25,000 to every player.
Right. And no one leaving last year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and again, I just want to go ahead and get this out of the way. This has nothing to do with the culture. The culture is still as dominant and as awesome as it always has.
You're seeing,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're gonna see players transfer from championship teams. Last year, State had like one of the lowest number of transfers out of the program. This year I think they did number one, and very low numbers last year. And then this year, I think that they're relative to the ACC and the country. This year, I think they're one of the higher ones in the country, and they had a really good season at the end of the day. I really think it's just money. I mean, I think it's just all it is, guys.
And honestly, you've only seen really CJ Clark, who, was a constant starter, if I believe. The rest of the guys that have left are pieces, right? Or depth pieces. You had a couple of guys that you thought might be more like Anthony
Harris,
Smith,
but
but he had already lost his spot, off of the injury, and then the depth that was going to be there coming back.
Yeah.
Well, and the one thing which I'll add is that to the CJ Clark transfer, I really do think, and this isn't insider information because I think it just, you watch enough football, you're going to figure it out this season, that it really was less of like we don't like CJ Clark and more of like Brandon Cleveland, my dude, like that dude's.
Yeah, and
I think he's just going to get money. I mean,
did they push Clark out though? I don't think that happened.
No.
Well, see, that's my thing. Is that I think they looked at Brandon Cleveland and said, "All right, this is a guy that we need to make sure we keep around. Like, CJ Clark, we want to keep around, but we need to keep around Brandon Cleveland. Like, there's just because again, that guy's been so impressive. He's so young. Like he has years left. CJ has 1 year left.
And I think that's a good point. And I think maybe we should pause and talk a little bit about the transfer portal on the other side, right? Because you see so much negativity about guys leaving the program, that they're quitters, and that
can we address that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's where I'm going.
Go for it.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
Please.
So, here's the funny thing is, and we will leave the MJ situation out of this because I don't really think that I think that's a one-off where the rest of them are a little different. A lot of these guys, and we just talked about it a few minutes ago, these guys and girls are on 1 year scholarships. Most people don't realize that it's a 1 year scholarship, renewable year to year. It's not they say a full ride, but it's a full ride for 1 year. And a lot of times, especially when you're looking at this wide receiver room with all the, potential pieces that are coming in, the potential pieces that we're targeting in the portal, a lot of times you're going to see the coaching staff go, "Hey, we appreciate what you've done here. We're not going to renew your scholarship," or, we think it's probably best for you to explore your options in the portal, and they're sent off on their way. But you don't hear all the muddy stuff in the background. Like, people just think, "Oh, he quit on the team. He couldn't handle a little competition." A lot of times you're seeing that these guys they're not going to get their scholarship renewed. So they're trying to give them a head start to go help them find another position.
Well, because again, they finished the job. They finished the season. Season's over. Like, you have a bowl game left, but it's a bowl game. But like at the end of the day, like the regular season is what matters towards an opportunity to win a championship. And at the end of the day, every single guy we're talking about that people are calling quitters just because they put their name in a transfer portal, at the end of the day, they finished what they needed to.
Can I share one more thought here real quick when you're done? Go ahead.
Well, and I just want to add, like, even like, people saying Jordan Houston, he's a quitter. No, at the end of the day, hey, he knew that if he wanted to play one more college football season, he had to stop after the fourth game. He had to, so I don't blame him whatsoever. Like, anyway. So go ahead, Greg.
Hey, when we get these new guys in the portal and we cheer that they signed with State, what are they? Are they quitters? Are they quitters from their other school?
Yeah, no.
So you can't have it both ways.
Personally, I think Jacoby Brissett was a quitter.
Yeah,
I think he
totally.
I just want to call the hypocrisy out. You can't.
Rosner,
you can't
stand that
you
guy.
Can't call these guys out when they leave the program and then cheer the guys that come into the program. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And some of everybody thinks that these guys are just basically like peace out State, like don't even care. Like some of the guys I'm friends with that are in the transfer portal, like they're hurting. knowing that their last night is in Raleigh is like this week or next week, they're like, it hurts them because they don't want to leave. They want to stay, but they know that it's better for their professional career and to be able to go to school and not have to pay thousands of dollars or be a walk-on is to go somewhere else.
Well, and Lindsay, I want to get your thoughts here. Rusty asked or puts a comment saying, "Open the portal after the bowl season. Make exceptions for academic purposes." And exactly. So, I mean, Lindsay, fill that in if you know any of the story behind that, or any of the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I don't know. Not the academic part of it. I don't think.
Greg, do you want to fill that in?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way the semesters fall. You have to be registered and ready to rock and roll when the classes
first
change.
week of January.
Correct. And so, unfortunately, by then it's too late. I think the only thing they make an exception for are the people that are playing in the CFP. They get an exemption waiver, but they only get like 7 days once the bowl season is over. If you're in a non-CFP, you have to pretty much declare and get ready to get enrolled. And so here's the thing. Do you change the whole academic year because sports dictates it? Like, that would be next level. I get the premise. I mean, the premise does make sense because you see, we're going to probably be down 14, 15, maybe 20 players when it comes into bowl season. And then, if you're trying to, and then the other part of that is if you're trying to keep guys redshirted who have played 3 games or already played their 4th game, those are guys that are unavailable to you. And so that could be another 10, 15 guys, depending on what it is. So I really almost think that they need to kind of tweak. I do think they need to tweak it. Maybe make the bowl game an exempt game to where you can go play in it and it doesn't count towards your red shirt because it basically is a glorified exhibition at this point, unless you're playing in the CFP. Now, maybe make those games count. But other than that, if you're just playing in the Pop Tarts Bowl, go let the kids play. You can go figure out what you got, give them some game action, get some stuff on tape, and then go from there.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, that's a glorified exhibition game. It's almost a celebration for teams that did have a successful season to go out there and play someone they usually probably do not play in a new location. Again, I say let kids play. And as far as the whole transfers or traders kind of thing, I think people don't realize the complexities that go into this. Like Ken was saying, the scholarships and then the NIL money and all of those different things. If you have the chance to go to school free somewhere else and continue to play the sport you love, that's what you're going to do. And I think NIL has made the whole transfer thing way more complicated than it once was. But I think a lot more goes into it than people who are not really involved in the sports world can fully understand or wrap their heads around. And so I think it's unfair to guilt 18 to 22-year-olds into thinking they're traders for looking for the best opportunity elsewhere.
And to kind of piggyback into that, I would say that we also to talk about one of the biggest issues with NIL, which is players getting told if they go to the transfer portal, they're going to make this much money, which that's not always the case. So, and we talk about that during the Pack of Wolves interview with Chris Fernakis, which again comes out Wednesday morning. So stay tuned for that. But I do want to kind of move this conversation into tweets of the week as we continue this. And so let's jump on over, y'all. I love it when the transition buttons work with me properly. All right, Macon. So I know that, we talked a little bit about the news of Grayson McCall, the 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year from Coastal Carolina. Grayson McCall, who reportedly had a home visit from Dave Doran. And basically, I think Doran basically confirmed it yesterday during the media bowl game media press conference that he had a home visit, I'm assuming, with Grayson McCall, and that he is going to be visiting for an official visit this weekend. So give me your thoughts here in terms of, so if Grayson McCall commits, what would you give it a grade from 1 to 10? 10 being like home run, like, dude, watch out. 1 being like, what the heck were you thinking?
So I'm thinking, to answer that question, number comes to mind is an 8. I think.
Okay,
I think an 8 is a good number. I think he is a step up from MJ for sure. I mean, a 3-town Sun Belt is not anything to joke around about. That those stats right there, 10,000 career yards. I'm sure that's all purpose. 88 touchdowns.
And only 14 receptions.
14 interceptions. Yeah, that's really good, guys. Now, when you watch the film, For those who are on the Discord, if you guys aren't, you should join that. I posted some highlights of McCall on there. He is a guy that the word that comes out when I watch him play is playmaker. Like he knows where to go with the football. He knows he takes care of the football. He seems to be able to create. He seems to make the right play. I think it's probably the way I put it. He makes the right play. What he looks like, he doesn't have like a cannon for an arm, not the strongest arm. When he throws the ball, it doesn't like it just zips out of his hand. But it's not like a bad throw. It's just not as, it's not like a Devin Leary or something like that throwing the ball. But it's good. He gets where he needs to go to. His ability to run it's not like his running form, I guess, when you like, doesn't blow me away, but he can do it. I mean, he's really good at it. I mean, that's why I think playmaker. I think someone said he's 6'3", 220, something like that.
Yeah.
That's bigger than I thought he was. I like it. 1 year guy that you can have come in right now, and I think it'd be interesting to see. I don't know what Coastal kind of offense they run right now, but I wonder.
Tim Beck offense.
Yeah, but like, what is that? I mean,
Screen passes
running there.
What is that?
No,
a lot of screens.
2-yard digs.
Yeah, 2-yard digs.
Well, then he'll do. I don't know. that was a good, Greg. You're right. It is.
No, the offense before Tim Beck there, it was more a nice.
Like the Liberty
style.
coach was the OC. Yeah. What was his name?
Jimmy Chadwell.
Chadwell.
Jimmy Chadwell.
Yeah, I think at least with an eye, you've shown that he gives the balls to his playmakers and his strengths, which is what as a fan base, it's all you can really ask for. But with McCall, I like what I see from him. Are there traits of other quarterbacks that are probably better? Yes, like it's particularly in his power and his throwing arm. He's doesn't come across. I mean, on film he doesn't look as big of a dude, but when you realize he's 6'3", it's like wow. So I give it an 8 out of 10. Like, and I think it'd be a really good pickup for State. I think a lot of guys want to play with McCall.
Let us know in the chat, y'all. What would you say? What would you give a rating from 1 to 10? Again, 10 being home run hit, 1 being what the heck were you thinking? But real quick for everybody else,
real quick, I just want like a 30-second on McCall. It's also what can you afford at the quarterback position? What are you willing to pay?
Exactly. You can't afford KJ Jefferson.
Right. So he's probably one of the best for what your budget allows
for our price range.
Right. So just keep that in mind.
KJ Jefferson would be amazing, and I think so would Dylan. I think Dylan Gabriel. But
there's the guy from UCLA, Dante Moore. There's the guy there's McCord from Ohio State.
Howard from
Howard
from
Kansas
I don't trust
State.
it. I don't want UCLA anywhere near my team. I don't.
I just want to know how many awards are they giving at this thing.
I know.
Honestly,
now we're at the big check presentation portion of the show.
Corey tweeted something out there when they just did the female flag football team of the year, and that's like halfway through.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so my thoughts were really good quarterback.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think he'd be a solid pick. I think Greg, you have to think about you almost like a professional team at this point. How are you going to balance your checkbook and the salary players?
Yeah,
right, salary cap. And if you overpay on a player like a quarterback, like Dante Moore, I saw somewhere he's like the number one. And by the way, they're highlighted Peyton Wilson now on the negotiation.
Pause it.
They would have to really overpay him like a guy. I saw he was like Ohio State, Florida State.
Yeah. Those guys who are going to pay.
Miami.
How are they going to show the play where he gets injured?
That was pretty bad. That was.
His first highlight is he sucks.
Yeah. No.
There we go.
So got Kyle saying A, Trey Bass saying 8.7. I love it.
Yeah.
Chow saying 7. So Greg, Michael Kins, Lindsay, give me number 1 to 10. What would you say for Grayson McCall?
Yeah, I was gonna say 7. I'm with Macon. I wasn't blown away by this. Those highlights. this is somebody who you can't take it lightly that he was 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year, and that's not a non-competitive conference, but it's also not a Power 5 conference. This will be his first time playing Power 5 football, but I think there's a lot that we can do there. And again, it gives us probably a little wiggle room on money to spend it elsewhere. So I'm not unhappy. I think this is a good pickup, but I'm not like obsessed with anything
If we
I
pick
saw.
him up.
So if we pick him up, it would be a good pickup. But I wasn't obsessed with anything I saw, but I think there's a lot of potential there, so I'll go 7.
I would like to see his stats against Power 5 opponents. I think that
would be an interesting thing to see.
I give it an 8.5. I mean,
of course you do.
Knowing App State, App State's a hard team. Coastal Carolina's a hard team. The Sun Belt has some really competitive teams. Like App State beat Carolina. App State isn't just the Sun Belt isn't just full of like mediocre teams. But I've already seen a lot of people post like high schoolers like that want to play with him. Like he's a magnet for people, like for wide receivers that want to play with him and running backs. So I feel like that could bring in some talent in that area. His running game and his throwing game isn't like quarterbacks we've had in the past, but this team so far has shown like what they do with adversity. So I think that, I think he'd fit right in this Anai system, and I think he'd also bring in some good recruits as well. So I give it an 8.5.
That's where I'm at. And like Greg said, I think that's the most important part. It's what we can get for what we're willing to spend on a QB. I think he's pretty near the top of the list.
And to Mark's point right here, hard to judge until we find out if the QB will fit in the culture, scheme, etc. His stats support Nate. Again, Dorn's a guy if there's one thing about Dorn, he has great integrity from the point that he's not going to just bring a guy in just because he's really good. Like at the end of the day, if he has the feeling that Grayson's going to be a cancer to the locker room, he's not going to bring him in. That's just plain and simple. It doesn't matter how good you are. Culture is first and foremost. You know that with Dorn. So, all right. So,
keynote speaker. That's exciting.
I know, right? All right. So let's get to the big news now. Kevin Concepcion is signed. He is here, y'all. He ain't going nowhere.
He was tired of people asking him. That's what it was.
Oh, totally.
On his live when he was in Minnesota after the game, like there was like 20 people that asked him, and he was like, "Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to chill. I'm not going anywhere." So he was like, "Let me just go ahead and sign this real quick."
Well, and again, I honestly think it couldn't have come at a better time too. I think it was a huge move, but I think it was a great move right before the transfer portal opened, and you can use that as a great recruiting tool towards, Noah Rogers, towards Grimes, towards Grayson McCall, towards quarterback, saying, "Hey, listen, you got Kevin Concepcion, man. Like, you see what that dude did? Like, dude, you and just him are gonna light up, just two of y'all. And imagine if we bring in some other weapons, like watch out." So, anyway, but again, Greg, home run to say the least. So, and hats off Tom Lavolsi and all of Savage Wolves for getting this done.
Yeah, those guys over at Savage, they're putting in the work. They're putting in overtime. They're making sure that they're going out and building connections and relationships, more so relationships with those guys. And he is the poster child of you can come into this program as a true freshman and do your thing. And the awards, he's going to earn every dollar of whatever that NIL figure is. Probably somewhere in the low six figures, I'd imagine. If I had to guess, probably 125, 150 easy.
I guarantee
I wouldn't even blink an eye at that.
Whatever number Savage Wolves is giving them for this upcoming season, I guarantee you other schools offer them more. Guaranteed that we're not matching.
Yeah, but he's also a guy that's very grounded. He's
very humble.
He's humble. I mentioned a couple weeks ago on the live stream, I had talked to his mom at Wake Forest, and she's like, he's humble, but he can be humbler. So she's like, I'm trying to keep him humble. I said, he's solid. And,
but you got fans like Greg screaming, "How many trucks do you want?"
I told him he's worth every truck.
He should be very like, he has no reason to be humble.
No,
but the fact that he is says a lot about his character as a freshman 18-year-old, being able to take all of that, take pictures after the game, and like really truly care about the fan base. It's not
giving
something
away gloves. Probably the equipment staff's probably tired of him giving away those dang gloves and wristbands and all of that. And
money.
They may start charging him for them. I don't know, but he's just a good dude. No, but he's just a good dude. And spending time, and he, like you said, he almost overextends himself. Remember, because I saw like staff had to come grab him off the field, and like, hey, we got to go get on a bus and go home.
Yeah, and he'll promise kids like at the
Yep.
weight game, standing right there. This little boy was like, "Can I have your wristband?" And he said, "I already promised this one to that little boy, this one to that one." And he was like, "But are you going to be at the game next week?" And the little boy was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Come find me at the tunnel." And I'm like,
I was there when he said it.
That's just something you don't see, and it's, I mean, that made that little boy's life. Like when I tell you, he was grinning ear to ear. It's like you don't get players like that very often.
But all that, so I mean, obviously, his stats speak for themselves, but it's the culture, right? We keep talking culture, and the players and that the staff brings in, that they want to make sure that it's really a family. You hear that family preached, brotherhood, all of those buzzwords, and they really do mean something in this program. But yeah, to the point of, he came out the first day that he could, and he said, "Look, I'm not going anywhere." And then now he can turn his attentions to recruiting guys, right?
Him and Lex are about to be a recruiting machine.
Taylors and
Lex Thomas is a recruiter.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me, like all those pictures that you saw a couple of years ago, like when they were at their official visit, and you're like, could we be reuniting something here?
Right.
And,
hey, I mean,
if you follow it, you know who they're talking about.
I think it runs in the family, because remember Drake Thomas and Thayer Thomas got this guy that we're watching right here. So just saying.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But
again, when you have a personality that people want to just get drawn into, it's easy. Like, it's just easy. And now that, we saw this offense the way it is this year with the personnel we had. And honestly, we didn't even see the full version of this offense. We saw a very watered down version. And if they get their dudes, watch out. There's a lot of potential, right?
Like the wide receivers, potential. Some of the wide receivers that transferred in that still have years left didn't start really balling out to the end of the season. So if they go in like Jakari Collins, he goes in the beginning of the season balling out like he did against Carolina. That's already a huge step forward and can open up the playbook even more. So
Jakari Collins in the last 3 weeks was huge.
He's huge.
I think you kind of pencil Collins in as a starter on one of the outside receiver positions as of right now.
You have to.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
Yeah. So let us know in the chat, y'all, and I want to ask making this next question. But who is on the top of your wish list for transfers for next season? If you had to pick on who do you want for next season?
Okay.
Realistic?
Whoa. Yeah.
Right.
Realistically,
right.
yes.
We're not getting Cam Ward
from Texas and Texas. Yeah.
Texas
A&M defensive end.
No.
So let's go with who's announced right now. Right.
Yeah.
I got mine.
Okay. So, am I allowed to say somebody like KJ Jefferson? Or you want me to go with someone who I think is
realistic?
reasonable?
Do you think it's real? I don't think KJ Jefferson's real.
I don't think KJ's realistic. No. He's not.
So here's the guys that have announced that I think have strong NC State ties that have announced. Wesley Grimes from Wake Forest.
That's who mine
from Raleigh. Really stay recruiting hard. Looks really good. Yeah. Andy Alcon, the Dalen Smothers or Hollywood Smothers.
Hollywood.
Four-star running back.
Which is a position of need.
Yeah. It was basically trying to NC State, Oklahoma. He really wanted to go try DeMarco Murray out there. And if he transfers here, he has 4 years of eligibility left.
Full 4 years. He didn't even play 4 games this year.
That's crazy. So I would love to get Smothers. Honestly, I don't know what he costs, but I do really like the Kansas State quarterback, Will Howard.
He's gonna be.
I do really like what I see out of him. Yeah, but I think it's still reasonable. I think.
Receiver. I love a dreamer, Amanda.
Yeah, exactly. I think the couple receivers that are the big guys that always interest me is a receiver from Boise State, Eric McAllister.
Yeah.
And there's a receiver from Michigan State, Christopher Fitzpatrick, I think is the guy. To Marcus Cooley.
I forgot about him.
Marcus Cooley. I think. McCall is big. McCall also be a good one.
For me, it's the center from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Forgot about him.
But he's at the top of my wish list.
Yeah.
We need. I mean, that's what you need. I mean, you need someone that's going to can control the offensive line.
We saw that this year. We have to have a controlled offensive line.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
think that's what that needs to be our focus as much because we have some skill guys that are here and then they're coming in. Now, granted, again, dream big, go for everything, but we need
and we've already lost some. Like Lyndon Cooper's gone. I mean, he started 14 games, so it's
he's your backup. He's your backup center.
Right, so. And McMahon is all but gone. He hasn't said, but I mean,
I think it's a really good call with him. I think the guy that I would say is probably number one for me personally is Will Howard. I really like what I see on him on film. But I think Corral, or Corral, how you pronounce his name, is a good argument, Greg, because that's a foundational piece for everything else. It's not sexy, right? But it's it's a really good player you could use. Yeah. It's the Pop Tarts, Greg.
It is the Pop Tarts. The power of Pop Tarts.
I don't know. I think if more guys announced, it'll be interesting. But
I think we need some D-line help.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be curious about that. That's one thing I was thinking about that my brother mentioned to me. He goes, we're talking to all these offensive guys, like State's got some defense stuff they need to figure out. So, but I think to answer your question, Layden, it's probably Will Howard. It's my number one. So Will Rogers, Kyle Sink said that. I saw someone put a crystal ball in for Washington. Yeah. Will Rogers does not excite me.
There's a lot of teams that excite him.
Go watch.
I think he'll do really well in Washington's offense.
Go watch Will Howard's highlights. I think you guys would like that. I think State has a solid chance with him if McCall, whoever doesn't work out beforehand. But
you'll get a chance to see us firsthand. I mean, I know he's already in the transfer portal.
Is he playing? I don't know if he's going to play. No. I don't think he can play because he transferred.
Well, it depends on every team handles the transfers differently. I've seen last year. I think it was Maryland had a couple of guys transfer that played in the bowl game.
Yeah.
For Dave, you can't.
No, Dave is like, you want to go? Okay, you can go. Doors right over there.
Speaking of too, I want to ask everybody's votes and let me know in the chat too, y'all, what you think. Do you think Peyton Wilson plays in the bowl game?
100%.
It sounded like it. His statement today.
I think they're going for the 10 wins.
What did he say today? I didn't see. What did he say?
He said, "I look forward to playing with my brothers in the bowl game."
Peyton Wilson.
He said, "I am playing in the bowl game." I think it's a pretty good indication.
Peyton Wilson, he's one of those guys that you can see it every day. Like he's not a myself kind of guy. He's gonna go out there. If there's a chance to play football, he's gonna take it. Like it don't matter if it's like a backyard scrimmage. It don't matter if it's like a flag football game. If it's a football game, he's gonna go out there and play.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got the insurance out there, to protect himself for injury. But I
can't see him sitting on the sideline and watching.
I just can't.
Yeah.
Not that because he's poured so much into this team. He's poured, I know. I mean, I think without a doubt, this is Peyton Wilson's team. Like, there's no.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you can say it was anybody.
I don't know. I wonder if he didn't play, how much the line would change. 2 points.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
I'd say like 3, 4. Not a lot.
Because I mean, imagine for the sake of the team. I don't know because Kansas State. I mean, I watched them last year. Different team this year. If you look at their schedule, they played 3 ranked teams and lost to those 3 teams really close.
And all the ranked teams were like 18 down.
They didn't have any ranked wins this season. If you look at their schedule, but they played the ranked teams really close. Like they lost by like touchdown or 3 points to Texas.
But they lost, right?
They lost to ranked teams. Right? They don't have a single ranked win on their schedule.
So don't scare me.
Were they 9-3 or 8-4?
8-4.
8-4.
So let me touch on Andy's comment here. If he decided to sit, I would fully support him. If he decided to pee on a sidewalk, you're supporting him, dude. This dude's the GOAT.
I can't support a misdemeanor.
Hey.
I can. If it's Peyton Wilson, I'll bail him out. I'll be the first person there to bail him out.
Exactly. Dude,
that man's done so much for this program and this school. It's crazy.
Anybody who boos Peyton Wilson anytime,
you will get swung on.
The nearest NC State fan has full
you will get swung on.
To smack them outside the head.
I will
get out of here. But the other thing which I'll say though is, I mean, I honestly said and I think I may have said this on a live stream that if we would have lost against UNC and been 8-4 going to a bowl game, I would get it to an extent because now you're not really playing for much of anything.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now you're playing for 10 wins. So now you're playing for something.
It's history. I mean, it's only been done twice, and it hasn't been done in
50 years.
22 years.
Oh, I thought it was
Maybe
one.
23.
Technically
It was
once,
22.
but you know.
We've never hit the nail on the head at 10. We've never done that.
What?
So
Even Doran in the media press conference
Yeah, we did
yesterday.
with Phillip Rivers.
Right,
Right,
11.
once. It was 11. Yeah, we never hit 10, but yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But
I literally said hit the nail on the
That's
head.
another reason
So
I don't
what
want
do you want me to say?
UCLA's guy to come.
Yes. You're right. You're right.
read the
Pop-Tart
instructions,
boy.
Greg.
Read the instructions, Greg. Yeah.
No.
Eat a Pop-Tart.
But I mean, even Doran
I'm
mentioned
gonna
on the media press conference yesterday that I mean, he didn't necessarily even bring up 2021. Like he just said, "Yep, it hasn't been done," and it just left it at that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Just like
None of
let's
those.
leave the controversial out of
Yeah.
it. Just plain simple. We're gonna go get it done.
None of those guys count 2021, which is shocking to me. Like they're like, we didn't earn that. We didn't.
Correct.
We don't want it.
Which
in
I love.
here.
I love it.
They're
love
like,
it.
I mean, yeah, we should have. I mean, we should have won, but having that trophy in the trophy case is just like they're like, I don't want to see that every day.
There's a reason they don't have that the Holiday Bowl trophy case in the main trophy case. Like
Yeah.
it's there, but it's not in the main trophy case.
Yeah.
Like and I think and I love it. Like you
I
know,
do too.
take the participation trophy, put it on the side. All right, that's great.
We got it.
But no, we're gonna go get the big
Let's go
trophy.
earn the other ones. Yeah.
And
I want to know what the Pop Tarts trophy looks like.
I hope it's a giant
edible.
Pop-Tart.
No.
No, that's the mascot.
No, I want
Yeah,
to figure
that's
out what an edible mascot means. Like, is it just a massive Pop Tart?
I might be jumping on the
I
field to
guess
get a
so.
piece
No.
of that.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah. Greg, like, ah.
I need it. Yes, no. But the other thing which I'll say though, again, like I feel like it's my duty every single live stream to bring up that Doran is the guy. But like listen to him like on the press conference being like, is there a way I can get a bourbon while eating the Pop-Tart? Like how is that not
I'm telling
like,
you, that would
connecting?
be.
I'll
I would
toss
use
him
that
one.
meme for the rest of my life. Having him with a cigar in his hand, a bourbon, and a Pop
and
Tart.
eating the Pop-Tart.
Oh,
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 my
someone
God.
said in the chat earlier, we were talking about
Oh,
booze, so I
yeah.
didn't highlight it, but said if we win, they should make a bourbon flavored Pop Tart for Dave.
And have
I'd
like
support
Dave's
it.
face, have Dave's
support
face
it.
on it on the box.
Yeah.
I would buy like 12 of those.
Oh, easily. They would sell out easily.
100%.
And Andy brings up a great point here. Besides the 10th win, we just need a bowl win. It's been a
Yeah.
minute since we've won a bowl.
I think it was
17.
year.
I think it was the Sun Bowl that we won last.
Yeah.
17,
Mhm.
Yeah.
2017. Sun
When we
Bowl.
beat Arizona State. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, y'all. So again, I obviously
Sorry.
we're going to go a little bit long here because at this point, I mean,
We're in it.
We're in it, and we said we were going to be covering it, but who would have freaking thunk that it
Let's
was an
see.
hour? It was a 2-hour,
A 3-hour tour.
Yeah.
Does it say
Yeah,
how
no.
long it is at the bottom?
So hold on. According to the program, that was Sonny Dykes, keynote
Yep.
speaker. Then there's a Defender of the Nation award, the Bronco University Legends Award, and then the trophy presentation.
All right. So we have at least another 30 to 45 minutes.
Come
No,
on,
I
let's
think
Lord.
talk some more
10
Pop Tarts.
No
We're
way,
around.
bro. No way. Look, this dude's still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're gonna,
this is-
but we'll
I
ride through it.
guarantee you it's at least 15 to 20 minutes.
We
Oh,
gotta
hold on.
finish it. We gotta finish
All right. We
it.
got the big hardware on the
Wait, he's coming.
on the
Yeah.
podium.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the last three.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think maybe
Uh-huh.
15 minutes, right? 5 minutes per award.
Yeah, probably. Is that Cutcliffe?
No.
No.
Yeah, it looks like him. You're not
Is
wrong,
it?
but yeah, it does look like
Our
him. But no, it's
all
not
the
him.
people from state that are there, they dressed. We dressed to impress. Dave Doran, Tony
I
Gibson.
saw
all
that.
them.
Maybe they know
They
that we're
cleaned
winning,
up
so we
good.
yeah, there you go, preacher man. I
Nice.
think that's a good point. Maybe we talk a little basketball. Hey, let's
Yeah.
talk about women's basketball, number 3 in the country. Just
Yeah.
we're like the
You got it.
Jeffersons. We're moving on up. moving
Mhm.
Yeah.
Number
To
And
the-
let me go ahead and say this, and this might be a bold take, but
not from
South
you.
Carolina really doesn't scare me. Like they're number 1 in the country, but man, like I watched them against UNC Duke, and you're like,
I was about to say they barely beat Carolina.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not.
Carolina's
I mean,
such a Jekyll and Hyde squad too. Like I don't even know what
They
to
are.
make of them.
They are. They've had some good wins, but bad
Yeah.
losses.
Yes,
Yep.
head scratchers. Did
Yep.
you see that tournament they're playing in this weekend? And up in
Who's they?
Connecticut, Carolina. It's like
UNC.
South Carolina.
Which Carolina?
No good, no Carolina.
Anyway,
Anyway, but like it's a who's who of women's basketball playing up in some tournament up
Yeah.
in Connecticut this weekend. I was like, wow, that's an impressive lineup. But
Yeah.
Yeah, women basketball, I think they rebounded nicely from the Vanderbilt game. They let a 26-point lead just kind of get down to like 8. I'm like, what are we doing? We struggled really, really bad with some free throws in that game, and then we just got stagnant on offense. But handled Illinois State yesterday. That game got a little closer than it needed to, but it was never really in doubt. But women just keep going out and impressing. It's easy to say like the take on Sanaya Rivers, but I tell you who's really impressed me is River Baldwin. She's just been.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's always been a really good rebounder and passer, but she's really starting to find her game on the offensive side. And if we can just get that inside out game, which is what Wes likes to run. Watch out.
Yeah, I think we had a tweet about Rivers' performance in yesterday's game. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
River Baldwin continues her dominant performance of the season, this time in number 5, now number 3. NC State's 79-61 win over Illinois State, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 6 for 9 field goals. NC State remains undefeated. Yeah, she is one to look out for, who I think always kind of deserves the shout out. So I liked coming across this tweet, and glad we mentioned it here.
Yeah,
she's very underrated.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know this was a tweet, so that kind of worked out really well.
Is she starting now?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's earned it
at this point.
Yeah, she's a very underrated player on that team. And
I think she was really. I think she was really underrated too because she was just kind of buried behind Hobby last year, and I thought honestly,
didn't she have some injuries?
She does
last year too.
She still has back issues, and she wears a boot a lot during non-game days. So I think that's just kind of a preventive thing. I've seen her on
for precautions.
Times. Yeah. So but hey, if you just get something out of her, I would like some more depth behind her at that position. I know. Maddie Cox has done a couple nice things, and then Mallory,
Mimi, of course.
Yeah, and Mimi plays off of her because she plays the power. But well, that's another one too. Mimi Cox has had a really nice year. Definitely improved on her shooting. Mimi Collins. What did I say?
Mimi Cox,
Maddie Cox.
Maddie Cox, Mimi Collins. Sorry,
put them together. That's a player, right?
That's a player.
But don't wait until you see Maddie Collins. She will take over.
She's got split personality.
Maddie Collins,
Maddie Cox has really come on nice though. She's continued to develop as a freshman, but Mimi Collins has definitely improved in her shooting, and so it's a team that, and I don't think they've even really peaked, to be honest with you.
No, not at all. I think that this
is just crazy to say after 2 top 5 wins, but
what Wes Moore did from last season to this season already, like that deserves so much applause. Like that is he's an amazing coach, honestly.
It was a culture reset. It really was a culture reset.
Yeah.
The complete 180 that it took from you didn't know if there was negativity last year, but it just seemed like there was negativity going on behind the scenes. And now it's just like a full on positive, like when Sanaya during the UConn game, when they all rallied around her afterwards, it's just like this team just seems like they're that connected, no matter like on screen and off screen.
Yeah, I feel like this is a team this year compared to last year that likes to play together and wants to see other people succeed, not just individual success. And I think it's really showing off and allowing them to succeed early. And I agree, this isn't the ceiling.
Yeah, I've been kind of following some of the other ladies that left the program, and Diamond's not even playing right now. She's still waiting for a waiver. But the Jakia Brown Turner is averaging slightly better than what she did here. Hobby was about what she was, and then Sophie Hart was averaging a little bit better, but that's just because she's playing more. I wish them well. It didn't work out here with the chemistry. They're all good players individually, but individually does not make a team.
Yeah.
So, Macon, kind of give me your thoughts here. Have you been able to watch much of the women play?
I've seen a little bit. I think this is. I mean, I'm not saying anything you guys have already said. I think River is the one who's surprised me the most. I said a few games ago. I thought, echo what Rick said. I thought a player who really kind of popped for me that was not like the flashiest, but like had some nice plays and limited action was Mimi Collins. I thought she really did stand out to me early on. I think Sanaya is just still scratching the surface what she can be. There's a lot of untapped potential there that she's if Westmore can really work that out of her, like she's going to be a problem. She already is, but like she was what I remember watching, she was more of like a driver and slasher. And if she can, I don't know if you guys watch more, how is she really hitting her pull-up jump shots? Is she hitting threes?
Who are you talking about?
She's starting to hit her
Sanaya.
threes.
Sanaya Rivers.
Sanaya, yeah, she's been hitting really well from the outside. She definitely can hit it from anywhere on the court at this point. She hit probably, I think, at
What is
least
her percent? I'm looking at her
three.
stats.
I think she hit like three. I think she hit three 3-pointers yesterday.
Yeah, she
I'll
did.
look it up.
Yeah,
but don't worry, preacher man. We'll talk wrestling here in a little bit. Don't worry. Go ahead, Greg.
yeah.
The whole thing is though. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to come back real quick to. I was just remembering that we were talking kind of about River Baldwin kind of surprising us, but it really shouldn't because she was a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school.
Yeah.
It's just I think at this point it's about reps and playing time, and you're starting to see these players being rewarded for their hard play. The one person I'll talk about real quick too is Zoe Brooks. So much potential there, and she at times you're like, wow, she can't be a freshman, and then there are other times she's like, oh God, she's a freshman. She's still really learning how to play out, especially on the defensive end. But man, she's an amazing facilitator of the ball. Like I saw probably 2 or 3 plays each game. She's making a pass that she's like dishing and not even looking, and I'm like, wow. But then she'll have a momentary lapse on the defensive end, and then so it's. I think by the time the tournament comes around, and that's why I said I don't think you've seen the full potential and the ceiling of this team, because if Zoe Brooks comes around and really becomes the player that we all expect her to be, shoo-wee.
Okay. So go back to the Sanaya comment real quick. She's 4 for 20 on threes this season, and
she's not really. She's improving in them. She's hit those last.
She's 4 for 6 the last 2 games,
yeah,
right?
So, she's hit them recently, so she's
right.
getting
Yeah, that's that she hit
there.
Like
but if she can really work on develop that, then she's
gonna be a dangerous player.
That's another level there, I think, for her. Just looking at it,
not knowing if she'll pull up from behind the arc or go to the basket, that'll be huge for her.
Yeah, and I want to kind of throw in that, I think the biggest thing, honestly, that really has improved, that's really taken this team back to where it needs to be, beyond just the culture, is 3-point shooting, but from multiple players. So you have multiple players that can shoot the 3, whether it's Madison Hayes, Zoe, Sanaya, Mimi Collins, Maddie Cox, like all these players can shoot the 3 ball. So I think that last year you were basically looking at Diamond Johnson for most of your, who was your over 30% 3-point shooter, but now you have multiple players that can shoot the 3. And again, as we all know, the women's basketball game lives and dies through the 3-pointer,
And it's like if one person's off, it's like not in past years where if one person's off, it seems like the entire team's off. If one person's off, it's like you have 4 more people out there that are perfectly on. Will drain the threes until they get ready back into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this team has a ton of depth. A lot of times, we look at a team that, like Clayton was saying, you have one person who you look to do one thing, and if they can't do it and they're off, you're screwed. I think there's enough depth here that somebody can be off that day and that this team can still be okay and figure it out. And I think that allows people to develop more and is going to allow this team to, continue to move upward. I thought this was funny too. Just curious, what's the record for the longest live Tuffy talk show? Have we hit it?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, not counting watch parties.
Yeah.
Or Clayton's 9-hour.
Oh yeah, that was.
What was that?
Oh yeah. The
challenge,
torture.
Yeah. The Wolfpack Game for Soft People challenge.
Yeah, yes, that one.
It was so long, YouTube cut you off.
Literally, they where they copyrighted it was basically like YouTube be like, don't do this to yourself, Lane, don't do it. Like, no, I'm doing it.
Try to talk you out of it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, gotta give a shout out to Madison Hayes. I mean, I love watching. Madison Hayes
didn't even
play.
think about her, and Zaya James didn't even think about her either.
Yeah. There's so many pieces. The Madison Hayes thing, she really does. She really is selfless in the fact that she's willing to put her offensive game to the side in order to lock in on their opponent's best offensive player. And so when you see her score you might only see her score 12, 14 points, which is still respectable and decent. You got to remember how much effort she's putting on the defensive end of the floor and like just putting it all there. Now, the one thing I will say about this team that we definitely need to keep an eye on is foul trouble. The last couple of games, especially the Vanderbilt game, the ladies are getting 2 fouls really quickly in the first period. It's happened to Isaiah James on multiple occasions, and it's happened to Madison Hayes a couple of times as well.
And they're like cheap fouls too. It's like
they are
shouldn't happen. So I mean, that's something that'll come when the season progresses. But it's like if we clean that up, then this team's unstoppable.
Yeah, really, that's probably one of my few knocks on this team.
Yeah.
So speaking of Madison Hayes, I saw it. I think I saw it in a tweet, and I went to look it up. She's shooting 50% from 3 on 2.5 attempts per game. So it's not nothing. She's just knocking them down.
She's diming it.
She's a smooth shooter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So either way, summary up. Women's basketball, great trajectory.
Good.
Keep it going. They good. Yes, they very good. Now let's move on over to another team here, which is a huge head scratcher. But again, coming off a huge, awesome win.
Road ACC win after 2 losses. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And I think it was, and Macon, I'm curious your thoughts here, but I think it was Wolfpack stats that put out, like, talking about that, that people talk about, again, how we lost to BYU, lost to Ole Miss, but that you had basically 4 games, away games in a row against solid opponents. So, I mean, like, do you, at least in that 4-game stretch, do you come out of it at least a little bit happy, quote unquote, that, I mean, we came out of there 2-2?
Yeah.
Or do you say
so?
Just hold on 1 second before we get too far. They're getting ready to announce the award here in just a second, so just keep that in mind.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Macon, go ahead.
Yep. So I'll keep it quick. I do feel better.
You have until the music comes on.
The net just came out, and BYU was second net.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's.
I don't count that game because I mean, shooting 80% from 3. I mean, you're not going to win that game.
I mean, those guys great. I think the one that you really are scratch your head about is maybe the Ole Miss game. I mean, Ole Miss is undefeated too, so they're not playing bad right now either. They beat Temple.
But they were like by 1 or
Memphis.
2.
They beat Memphis. And they beat us. So I mean, they were not as bad. Here's my thought. At that point, you get 2-game road streak. You win on the road. NC State was the only ACC team who won on the road this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all the other road games this weekend, and State's the only one who won. Duke lost at Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Duke
lost at Georgia Tech.
That's a bad loss.
That's top to bottom difference. And I think it's a good thing. I think at this point, I heard somebody made a point regionally that State was 0-3 to start the season in ACC play last year, and they want to know, like, it's okay. Good win. Not gonna complain. Anything can happen right now, especially this early in the season. We're still trying to figure ourselves out, and this team's still trying to gel. So they're figuring things out. We'll see how it goes, but music started, so I'm going to shut my mouth and see what happens here now.
Yeah. I'll just add a little bit in there. I think we said the net came out. Boston College, I think, was 95. So, I mean, that's a solidly a Q2 win. If they get a little better and improve and get up to number 75, it turns into a Q1 win. So, I like you said, road win in the ACC. I'll take it all day.
I mean, there have been plenty of years where we've gone 0-1 starting ACC play. So going 1-0 with a brand new team, basically, I'll take that any day. And fighting back in overtime too. Usually overtime games in the past, we've kind of stopped playing. So I think that's a big step too.
All right, y'all. So that being said, we are in Nagurski Award focus time, y'all. As the guys are being announced right now. And all I ask is that once they announce Peyton Wilson, that we gotta say go State during the fight song.
It's gonna come off as bad because all of us are watching it at different times.
I know.
Are they all lining up? Oh, I was so confused. I thought they announced it already. I was like,
I know. I thought they just announced it from that dude from Georgia, and I was about to be like, shocker.
Yeah. They're bringing them all.
I had to give Georgia something after they kicked him out.
Which, real quick, the Georgia's. What's that? Go ahead.
No, mine's not important. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna. Well, neither is mine. But
okay, you go, and then I'll go.
Well, so while Georgia's fight song is playing, who do you guys say has the most iconic college football fight song?
Oh,
well, hold on.
Let me get mine out. Let me get mine out real quick.
Hold on, before we do that,
working on the rail.
That's exactly what it was. It was working on the railroad.
People made fun of NC State.
That was Georgia.
NC State with the Navy fight song, basically whatever it is. It's like
it's Army.
It's Army, whatever it is.
I'm not gonna lie. Wake Forest's fight song's really catchy. I catch myself singing it all the time and don't even know.
I mean, Florida State.
The catchiest fight song.
Tomahawk Chop.
Rocky Top. I think Rocky Top's pretty good.
Rocky Top's probably it. Tennessee.
But that's not really their fight song, though.
Let's see. I would say. I would say either Notre Dame or Michigan for me would be the most.
What about
fight songs?
What about USD?
USC is pretty.
Which one?
Pretty good.
It's not Louis.
I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you anybody's fight song except our own.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
them. I learned a new version of Carolinas at the tailgate.
I tell you who the worst one is Virginia. It's the stupid New Year's Eve song. Did Peyton win, or he's just getting introduced?
No, I heard our fight song and I saw his face, so I got happy.
Oh, got you.
Peyton Wilson. Oh, great! It's the long version too. Even better.
Look at that walk. He was so worried.
I want to see the dive into the end zone against Clemson. That's the highlight. It should be there.
Man, dude, that jacket is
he's pimping.
Big.
Yeah, he probably could have gone down a size.
Tailored that a little better, but yeah.
Did he borrow Ruffin
left
McNeil's
his jacket in Raleigh and had to go buy one when they got?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he borrow Ruffin McNeil's tuxedo?
That's what happened to him. He left his jacket in Raleigh and had.
I'm surprised he doesn't have his shirt pulled up where his belly button is.
I'm telling you, what I know about Peyton, he cannot
crop top suit.
That'd be iconic.
There you go.
Oh no, mine's frozen.
No,
come on.
Please, no. My gosh, we've already heard so much.
Are they talking more? Are they letting them each speak?
Oh my gosh, they are just
America's next top model or something. Like
nobody cares.
Which, by the way, while they bring up Iowa, dude, I'll take NC State over Iowa any day. Putting us at 18, them at 17. Nah.
So side note, okay. So I heard a really interesting fact that goes to that is interesting about NC State's defense. I was listening to the Inside Carolina podcast about how bad they played against State, which is really funny. One of the guys made an interesting point, believe it or not. He said, he was like, one interesting thing that caught my attention recently was he said, who has the worst, the dead last scoring offense in the country?
It's Iowa, right?
Iowa.
It's Iowa.
Yeah.
And they're 10-2 who just played in a Big Ten championship game.
Well, they're 10-3 now. They're 10-3 now.
Last. Okay, they're dead last. They were dead last.
Yep.
Literally nobody was worse than them, and they were 10-2. UNC had one of the best offenses in the country, and they were 8-4. That was the guy was like, maybe there is something to the whole defense thing. You think?
Well, that's what I was saying about the whole Florida State thing. Like they have a top defense, but yet they don't get credit for it.
All right, let's go back to it.
But if it was an SEC team defense,
it's all Jordan Travis. Like
it's all that was somebody told him to put Alabama in. That's all it was.
They're not going to go college football
dead last with a elite defense, and they're 10-2. They could not move the ball. So
just to summarize it, the team total for Iowa for the Michigan-Iowa game, the amount of points Vegas was saying that Iowa would score against Michigan was 6.5. 6.5.
Did you see
that? If you score one touchdown in 40 minutes of football, it cashes. One touchdown in 40 minutes of football.
They had a bar somewhere in Des Moines, I think, that basically was like they were not. Well, how was it?
It was a bar. It was a bar.
You wouldn't have to pay. Right? You wouldn't have to pay for your beer until Iowa scored a touchdown,
and they didn't score.
Wow,
that bar lost a lot of money.
Wow,
those people are still talking.
I know they're hyping up Georgia right now.
Yeah, we should have taken the over on 30 minutes.
That
So
chain
did
is
anybody
nice,
see?
though.
Did anybody see the screenshot? I think I sent it to you guys. It was like, competition of which coach is wants the I'm gonna see if I. It's basically like it was Georgia and Florida State of which coach wants to be in the Orange Bowl press conference the least right now, and they both were like,
"Oh yeah, I
they're
just
so mad. They were so mad on the press conference call."
Someone NC State athletics fan page put, "If I wait through all of this and Peyton doesn't win, I'm gonna be pissed."
Dude,
Seriously.
totally. Yes.
I relate to that so much.
Whichever
The
one
sad
of y'all
thing was
said this is like
this beard wasn't as gray when this thing started.
Right?
Whichever one of y'all said this was like Miss Universe, you're right.
It
These are being
is.
ridiculous.
They're asking questions.
I literally thought it was going to be 15
already.
minutes.
I want to solve world hunger and get peace.
I thought it was going to be 15 minutes. I thought that's why they were starting it at 7:45.
Or like on that movie. What's your favorite?
Right, same.
Yeah.
What's your favorite time of year or day of year? And
Or it's like, what's your ideal
idea?
date? And it's like April 4th.
Yeah, your favorite day.
Yeah.
April 4th, because it's not too hot and it's not too cold.
All right, Miss Congeniality.
That was
But-
such a good movie.
I do want to bring up that watching the Orange Bowl press conference and watching Norvell and Kirby Smart, I kind of thought of like that meme where it's like the two like buff arms like connected together, being like, we both hate the college football playoff committee.
Yeah.
Like I like because they were both just like you say, they were pissed, man.
They should just take a knee every play in that game.
Did y'all
Yeah,
see
seriously.
Corey's tweet at
No.
What'd he say?
9:14? It says breaking. Peyton Wilson has left his table to use the bathroom. This ceremony is taking a little while. He got up in the middle of it.
Oh, is Corey live tweeting it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
he's from he's there in
I think
Charlotte.
he's there.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
blame Peyton. This thing has been like 2 hours already.
He's just like, thank you for nominating
Hold
me.
on.
No, please
They're asking
announce it.
Peyton some question. Hold on a second.
Just give me the award.
He's talking about the fans. I'm gonna miss him so much. I don't think y'all understand.
He was
Okay,
talking about
go
me, by
on.
the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
Watch out.
Announce it already.
All right,
Here it comes.
it's time to pull out the Pop Tarts. Here we go.
Even if it's not Peyton, they better just read it as is.
I wonder who's going to see it first out of all of us.
That's what I would do.
It's gonna be Ken's.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think
I think Ken's is first.
it's all on YouTube, so everybody should be
All right, here we go.
on the same.
Drum roll, please.
See who's got the
You
fastest.
don't have to
name.
explain who they
It's
are.
gotta be
Oh,
Peyton, right?
who's
It's gotta
this
be
guy?
Peyton.
What the
I
heck?
bet you it's already happened on Twitter, and you can probably look at it.
Right.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look.
Don't
Of
ruin
course,
it.
Peyton Wilson won. Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. Ross Dellinger is the Football Writers of America's.
We're gonna get to right 2 hour mark on this thing.
Not surprising.
We are.
That's not surprising at all.
Now he's talking about the food and the drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Great choir.
Come on, Ross.
This is almost as long as who committed that was like 12 hours long. You were at
Paylor's was long, right?
It was Paylor, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
This
Paylor's,
was like
yeah,
Jonathan
the
Paylor's
ceremony.
commitment ceremony.
Well, and you're telling me I was holding my phone during it. Fair arm,
Be like this.
dude. No, I'm telling you. I was considering being like, what? Like, how important
Somebody
is this
send it to
video
me.
actually? How
Right.
important is this video actually?
I was like,
I'm
what?
still waiting.
Fred?
I'm still waiting.
Wait. No.
Here it is.
No ties. Okay.
No ties.
You're kidding.
Well,
Are
Wow.
you kidding me? Oh my god.
Bullshit. I stand on that.
Oh, wow. That hurts.
well,
All right, you know what? This
Notre
isn't even
Dame
the good one
again.
anyway. This isn't even the legit one
Yeah,
anyway.
this doesn't even count.
Right.
It's the other
I'm-
trophy.
Totally looking up his stats right now.
It's not gonna be good.
We are comparing. There's a conspiracy among us to screw Peyton Wilson.
Notre Dame.
That's
You know
because
what?
they didn't get the
guarantee-
Pop Tarts Bowl.
I get.
Who would you want to
Hey,
play against more right now? It's probably Xavier Watts. Or no.
You want me to tell you why he won? Head-to-head matchups. Because Notre Dame won the head-to-head matchup versus NC State. That's why they won it.
I didn't think about that.
All
No
right.
one cares.
So he had. So
He's a what, corner?
What position is he?
Safety? I think it's safety.
Safety?
I think
Yeah, I
it's
knew it
He
was
had
secondary.
47 tackles,
Over 12
Yeah, I mean, hard to
7
compare. That.
interceptions, no
Not bad.
touchdowns.
Interesting.
Am I missing
Peyton sure
something?
did.
See, this is an award that's very subjective because they're not all playing the same
Am
position.
I missing something?
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
47 tackles, 28. So he just said Peyton Wilson had 8 in each last 2 games. That is 2/3 of what this guy had the entire season.
What's his passes defended?
Well, I'm
4.
looking up his grade on PFF.
4.
4 passes defended in the whole season?
Yeah.
No.
How many games did he play? Let me ask that question. Maybe I'm missing
I hope,
something.
I hope Notre Dame loses now. I think get
I mean,
absolutely
I figured he
annihilated in
played
their bowl
all
game.
12 games.
Xavier Watts had the 18th highest defensive grade on PFF.
I want to
18th
see
for
the
Notre
numbers
Dame.
on this.
For Notre Dame.
Wait, 18th highest on Notre Dame?
On Notre Dame.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
It really is a beauty
What
pageant.
happened? No, what happened?
Peyton
I
was
don't
robbed.
get that. I don't get that. Yeah, no, he had
Did the college
pressures.
playoff committee
I'm turning
vote on this
off.
award
That-
too?
I do not understand what that was. That's terrible. Like he does this.
Peyton is
How many-
livid.
how
He's like,
many
I really
games did he
sat through
play?
all that crap
How
for
many
this.
games did he-
Yeah, I just had to sit through this 2-hour-long ceremony for
For
that.
this BS.
He had 3 pass breakups. He had a 59.4% reception percentage. Had 19 catches and over 32 targets his way.
He
That's
played
not
every
good.
Game. He played every game this season.
Yeah,
3,
that's not good
6,
at all.
9. He played 12 games.
The real question I'm thinking
What?
is Aiden
I'm
White better
really
than
like.
him?
Did I miss something? I'm serious.
Are we being
like,
punked?
I know.
A lot of people in the comments have been saying that they like messed up a lot of Peyton's stats in the intros.
Yeah, didn't
So-
Peyton Wilson have 133 tackles? Carson said. Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
this is the one right
And
here.
then Drew,
This one.
nobody respects the ACC. Yeah, we've learned that. We have learned that in the last 36 hours. We have learned that for sure. Oh man,
But
yeah, I
that
don't
should
get
have been
that.
a no competition win right there. That's what.
Oh.
Actually, this is actually good. I bet Aiden White's stats compared to Xavier's.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
I'm looking at one of these sites, NC State sites. I won't say who, and people like state fans are losing their mind.
I get it. I'm. Again,
I
there's a reason-
really don't know how apples to apples you can say he was better than Peyton Wilson.
Because he plays for Notre Dame, a
I-
national brand.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
But Bradley Chubb won it a few years ago, so that's baloney. So
They can't give state too much recognition. They got to give us like a 15-year gap before they give us our next
do
thing.
not.
That's just how it is.
I do not understand. I really don't know what happened.
All right, so real quick here. So Aiden White.
Well,
All right, so Aiden White had a 72.4 PFF grade. And then
Notre Dame's not even
Xavier,
a good team this year. Notre Dame's not even a good team this year.
and then
They're playing in the
Xavier
Sun Bowl.
it had a reset on me. Xavier had a
so mad.
There's some guy who's
72.6.
posting. He's like,
Wait.
this guy won the Nagurski, and he's literally posting his stats.
So Xavier has 72.6. Aiden White has 72.4. So basically similar there. Aiden White had
Well, we're not.
Aiden White had 28 tackles.
Great. Okay. Make it look better.
28 tackles.
A Pop Tart can't even help my mood right now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just
So Aiden White had a
He's got 2 more to
53.3%.
win, so we'll see how that goes. But still,
If he
Yeah.
doesn't win any,
Yeah.
I mean, well, at least he can hang us out and say like he was a finalist for 3, but like it's an all how many players are finalists for 3 awards.
The only stat that this guy beats Peyton in his interceptions, and you would hope so as a safety.
As a safety.
But I really have.
And he only beat him by 4.
I was about to say, and it's not even a big number, I bet.
Well, the only thing that's kind of interesting or kind of, I mean, good is, I mean, that Xavier Watts didn't allow a single touchdown this season, but I mean,
neither did Peyton. In
Yeah,
fact, he ran one of Notre Dame's players down to prevent one.
Right?
True.
23 miles an hour. Do that, Xavier.
All right. And that's,
I really would love to hear. I would love to see the voting because that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see just how much he won by.
All righty, y'all. So with that being said, we are over the
We gotta
2-hour
go.
mark. We waited 2 hours to see Peyton Wilson get screwed. No,
Wait, look at Mark's.
yeah.
Put Mark's comment up here. Now he's playing in the bowl game.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
Yeah.
There's
That's
some good news to
bogus.
come of this.
True.
Yeah.
No,
Peyton
100%.
is a scary Peyton. Kansas State better stay home.
So someone put up a thing that said, player A, 47 tackles, 0 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 7 interceptions. Player B, 138 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumble recoveries,
A
1 touchdown.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So either way,
I love BP Cox. He said the same thing. Sorry, K-State. Peyton Wilson will now probably play in the Pop Tarts Bowl and finish the game with 27 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 2 pick sixes. Wow, that's unbelievable.
They're
And-
scared right now.
2 pick sixes and final score 14-0 NC State wins. Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. All right, y'all.
If I wasn't opposing fan of Carolina, I would totally laugh at this. But like, you have to at least. I would still be like, for real. How did that guy win?
I mean, I know there's more than statistics, but what is your eye test then? Like,
Is it the
Make
way
it make
Notre
sense.
Dame was this season? Like overall team? Like that's what.
But
I'm
they're
trying
not that good.
I was
this
going to
year.
say they're not even that great. It's the thing.
Yep.
Leave it to Sam Hartman and his team to screw us over. Big shocker.
Notre Dame had to steal the AC Coach of the Year in 2020, and then they had to steal the Nagurski Award in 2023.
You know what? I'm glad we didn't talk about it, but I'm sure you guys saw like the ACC basically told Notre Dame to pack sand on the selection for the bowl game. So
True.
They did.
I am thankful for that.
All right.
See you, Macon.
See you, Macon.
Nice. You guys
All right,
later, bye.
y'all. So yeah, no, that's a good point. And I mean, because I was definitely shocked that we got the Pop Tarts Bowl. I fully expect that to go to Notre Dame.
I wanted
So,
to
And we'll definitely talk about it more in the coming weeks. But here's 2 things real quick, and we'll definitely wrap this up. The ACC was not ready for the Florida State not to be in the CFP. They were full scramble mode. Exactly right. So
Well, I think the Bulls.
it was embarrassing. Well, it was just embarrassing, following the timeline of some of the folks out there on Twitter yesterday. And it was like, yeah, the ACC hasn't even had a media call yet, or a meeting with the bowls, and they couldn't get their own house clean, man. This conference is in shambles. There's just no way. There's just no way to sugarcoat Pop-Tart that thing.
Wow, what a
Frosted. I'm tired. Let's go home.
So just to finish it off, so Xavier Watts did have 1 interception against us, but I mean, whatever.
Brennan threw like 10 of them that game, so it didn't really matter.
2, 3 of them. But yeah. All right, y'all. I think we're exhausted. It's been quite a journey, but and we would have loved to have ended this live show with Peyton Wilson crowning himself as the full-on GOAT. But I mean, there's still
You can take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, he can still go get 2 out of 3, which I still well believe. I mean, still well believe is within his realm for sure. So excited to see what he does. But,
yeah, if he doesn't get the buckets, that's where we really need to be concerned because that's his peers.
Well, that's best linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Was there even one other linebacker there? Iowa guy, maybe?
No, he was a cornerback.
He's a corner, yeah.
So
He was
there
the only
wasn't one other linebacker. Yeah. Just
I wish
Just
they would have had a
saying.
It
camera.
was
on
basically
the
one
game.
at every level. It was one at every level.
well, and again, good for Peyton Wilson, man. Giving the guy props immediately. No saltiness. No, he didn't even flinch. Like all right, cool. It is what it is. So
That was the ultimate beauty contest, though.
It
Yeah, that
100%
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
guys.
All right, well, but thank you so much again for tuning in with us. We appreciate it. Again, Wednesday morning, Pack of Wolves, Chris Fernakis interview will come out, so make sure to check that out. And if you haven't already, again, make sure, again, do us a big favor. Hit that free subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever we release any new in-state content, whenever we go live for any of our watch parties. We're probably going to do a watch party for the bowl game. So if you're not going to be there in Florida, go ahead and make plans to tune in with us for the watch party. And make sure, again, if you enjoyed this conversation, hit that like button. We really appreciate that. And give us a follow, Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. But this has been an amazing conversation. We appreciate all the comments, everybody tuning in with us. It has been a lot of fun. And
Thanks for dealing with our Pop Tart shenanigans.
Yeah, thank you for dealing with our Pop Tart shenanigans, but it was awesome.
Smart.
All righty, y'all be good. Thank you so much. And go Pack. Let's beat Kansas State, baby.